At the beginning of the story, we see many people wearing cloaks, and in front of all of them is a demon floating in the air. Then the heavenly demon says, "Blood and fear, is that truly what you all want?" Right after that, all the cloaked people attack the heavenly demon. But the heavenly demon simply raises one hand. Then he says, "All right then, if this is what you want, I'll give you exactly that." As the cloaked attackers rush toward him, all of their heads suddenly explode. Their blood scatters through the air. Under the moonlight in the open night sky, blood rains down, and the heavenly demon stands in the center of it. He says, "How weak these people are." Then we see a few people gripping their weapons, preparing to fight the heavenly demon. The heavenly demon stretches his hand forward again and attacks, saying, "How foolish these people are." On the other side, the fighters rush toward him, but the heavenly demon's attack passes right through them, and in the blink of an eye, their bodies are sliced into pieces. The heavenly demon smiles and says, "Look at yourselves. Now I will show you the true power of augmenting demonic art." Suddenly, the ground starts shaking. Then we see two massive hands emerging from the earth. One of the hands reaches toward the cloaked people. Seeing such enormous hands, they begin to run away, but the second hand comes down on them and grabs them all. Both giant hands close tightly, trapping everyone inside. Then we see one of the cloaked men saying, "Is something like this even possible?" Next, the giant hand lifts the trapped people upward. Some of the cloaked ones had already been crushed to death, while a few were still alive. They think, defeating the heavenly demon is impossible for us. Then the heavenly demon begins consuming their souls. After that, he crushes them tightly in his fist, killing them. Pieces of their bodies fall to the ground. The heavenly demon begins to smile. Then he says, "Were those the last remaining candidates for the heavenly demon title?" He looks around and adds, "It's so quiet. Maybe in this blood-soaked life, I'll never be able to live peacefully." Suddenly, the heavenly demon feels a sharp pain. He grabs his chest tightly. Moments later, he starts coughing up blood. Then an evil presence appears above him, an entity laughing at him. The heavenly demon thinks, "Has it begun? The recoil of the soul-augmenting demonic art. The curse has started. After consuming thousands of souls, one gains absolute power, but that absolute power demands a price." He continues thinking, "Even if other heavenly demons could not overcome this, I believed I could handle it. But now it seems I was overconfident. This is the result of my arrogance." Then we see two glowing eyes, followed by countless eyes appearing behind them. Suddenly, the heavenly demon looks forward and becomes shocked. Near those eyes, a portal, almost like a black hole, starts forming. Countless chains emerge from it. Those chains spin together into a swirling black vortex, with the heavenly demon trapped at its center. The chains burst outward and surround him, locking him tightly. The heavenly demon says, "Are you trying to drag me into hell?" Then he starts laughing loudly. Roaring, he says, "Who dares to force me?" With that scream, all the chains shatter instantly. But then his body begins to glow. He becomes shocked. His body is slowly fading away. As he returns to his true form, he thinks, "This is not what I wanted." The soul-augmenting demonic art doesn't just consume other souls. It eventually consumes its user's soul too. In my next life, I will choose a completely different path, a peaceful life. Scene shift. We move to another place, a manor where a small pond sits quietly. Next to the pond sits a man. Soon, a maid approaches him. She is a servant of the Golden Wall merchant family, and her name is Soso. She says, "You came here again. Please come inside and eat quickly before the food gets cold." The man lifts his hand and performs an attack in the air in front of Soso. But nothing happens. And from this, it becomes clear the heavenly demon has reincarnated inside this man's body. This man's name is Byok Taeson, the second son of the Golden Wall merchant family. Seeing his behavior, Soso gets annoyed and says, "What is wrong with you? You've been acting like this for days. Go to your room right now." Taeson looks at himself and thinks, "The idea that I'm so weak, I can't even slice a thin neck. This body truly is trash, completely worthless." Later, many dishes are shown, and Taeson, the reincarnated heavenly demon, is eating them. Suddenly, he begins coughing again and says, "This body is worse than trash." Soso replies, "Please don't say that. You'll get better soon. I heard a very skilled physician is coming." Taeson scoffs, "A physician whose name I've never heard. What could he possibly do?" Soso says softly, "Don't say that. Before good things happen, we must think positively." Taeson narrates, "It has been 10 days since I woke up in this trash body, the second son of Wahan's best merchant group." We see a flashback from 10 days earlier. Taeson waking up in bed, holding his head, confused. Soso helps him put on clothes, but he doesn't understand anything. Taeson continues, "This body is hopeless. It can't dress itself or eat without help. Beautiful face, but the biggest problem is the meridians. Every meridian in this body is disconnected. This body could die at any moment. I can't believe it. I got another life, but inside a body that could die any time. I need to use soul power to reconnect his meridians temporarily and slowly repair them until they are fully functional. The only method is the soul augmenting demonic art. But where will I get souls? I could kill people and take their souls, but then the side effects will return. I cannot waste this second life. The soul augmenting demonic card, something I created right before dying. If I use it, maybe I can reach a new level in this life, a level no heavenly demon has ever reached." Taeson decides to go out. Taeson calls Soso and says, "I want to go outside today." Soso replies, "Really? If you want to go anywhere, I'll take you." Taeson says, "I'm going to the quotation house." Soso blushes and says, "You want to go to a brothel?" Taeson asks, "Why are you so shocked?" Soso says, "In that case, a bodyguard would be better. Warrior Cheon will follow you. You've never acted like this before. I'm really surprised." Taeson insists, "You come with me." Soso blushes again and says, "Thank you for asking, but I don't want to go." Later, after Soso helps him dress, she thinks, he's been acting like a completely different person for days, and now he suddenly wants to go to a brothel. Did something happen to him? Jason asks, "Where is the bodyguard?" Soso says, "He'll arrive soon. He only trains and protects you, nothing else." Then she adds, "Don't push yourself too hard." Taeson doesn't understand what she means. She says, "It feels like you've given up on everything. Please have hope, at least until the physician arrives." Taeson thinks, since ending up like this, I can actually sense what others feel. She truly worries about me. This doesn't feel bad. Suddenly he senses someone. He's here. A voice comes from behind the door. Soso asks, "How did you know?" Taeson thinks, with his overflowing energy, how could I not sense him? The door opens, and a man enters. He greets Taeson. "It has been a long time, young master." This is Chon King-wan, a warrior of the Sword Dragon Corps. Taeson thinks, he's like a sword himself. His energy is so refined. It's hard to believe he's just a core member. He must have trained unimaginably hard. The Golden Wall merchants truly don't have ordinary people. At the brothel, Fragrant Flower House. Later they ride horses and reach one of Wahan's top 3 brothels, Fragrant Flower House. After dismounting, Cheon says, "I'll wait for you here." Taeson asks, "Why?" Cheon doesn't understand. Taeson asks again, "Why wait outside? If something happens inside, do you really think you'll reach me in time? Shut your mouth and come inside. Have some fun." Cheon says, "I can't do that." Taeson asks, "Can't have fun? Or can't obey my orders?" Cheon is shocked. Taeson steps close and says, "If you can protect me and enjoy yourself, it benefits you too. If you cannot, at least stay by my side." Cheon bows and says, "Yes, young master." Taeson smiles and says, "Good, let's go in." The moment they enter, all the girls welcome them warmly. Taeson smiles. A girl plays a zither while Taeson sits, surrounded by women chatting with him. Taeson asks, "Where is my bodyguard?" One girl says, "He's waiting on the stairs outside and blocking the hallway." Taeson thinks, "He's stubborn, doesn't listen." Then he says, "I want to hear all the rumors about me." The girls ask, "What kind of rumors?" Taeson says, "Tell me everything you know about the Golden Wall merchant's second son." Later, we see them explaining all the rumors. Taeson narrates, "As I've heard, I have 1,000 gold nang, a small manor, and ownership of some brothels as inheritance. Because of my poor health, I had no power or influence. It seems that everything. Some big beauties have been given to Taeson. Everyone there knows about this rumor. If I had not stepped out of the house, I would have never known about it." Then after that, Taeson stands up from his place and says, "That's enough, so now let's begin. I cannot handle all of you at once." Then he turns to the side and says, "For this, only you are enough." And it is the same girl who was playing the sitar. Then the girl goes into Taeson's room, and Taeson is sitting on the bed. Then the girl sits next to Taeson. Then she shyly starts looking at Taeson. Then Taeson says, "How long have you been in this quotation house?" Then the girl says, "I've been here for 10 years. Then Taeson says, "That's good. So shall we start now?" Then we are shown the other girls who were leaving from there, and they were talking about Taeson, saying he is very weak. Our turn will come soon. And Cheon was standing quietly, listening to all of them. But suddenly a loud screaming sound comes from Taeson's room. Hearing that, Cheon also becomes shy, and the people who were doing or about to do something also become very shocked. The screaming was so loud that it echoed throughout the entire quotation house, making all the girls blush. Then the scene of Taeson's room is shown. The girl was screaming loudly, and she was screaming because Taeson was using his soul augmentic demonic art on her. Then, after some time, the scene changes. Taeson finishes his work, and as soon as he opens the door, Cheon is standing there and says, "Young master, is everything all right?" Then Taeson is shown, and some kind of energy is being released from his body. Then he says, "That was wonderful." Then Taeson starts leaving from there. Then the girl who was with Taeson is shown. She had become more beautiful than before. Seeing her, all the other girls become shocked. Then the other girls start asking her, "Did he give you any elixir?" She says, "No, nothing like that. I don't remember what happened to me, but my body feels much lighter than before, and I feel as if I have been born again. Then the scene of Golden Wall Merchant is shown. Soso is sweeping and thinking worriedly that maybe Tayson fainted inside the quotation house. But then the door opens, and Soso looks toward it. Tayson and Cheon have returned. Then Soso comes to Tayson and says, "Young master, did you really go to the quotation house? Are you all right?" Then Tayson says, "If you're curious, you can ask him." And Cheon remembers the quotation house noises and becomes shy. Then Soso thinks, everything looks fine, but did he really go there? Then, after some time, Tayson's room scene is shown. Tayson is trying to connect his meridians using the absorbed demonic art energy. Some time later, he opens his eyes and looks at his hand, thinking, right now I can only connect to the small meridians. After dying, I understood the soul augmentic demonic art. If I kill people and absorb their soul, it will have side effects, and my body will break. But if I purify the evil thoughts of a soul that is alive, I can absorb its purified energy without any side effects. And this is the strongest energy of the soul. And this is the essence of the soul augmentic demonic art. Because the stronger their thoughts, the stronger their purified energy. And I chose the quotation house because the people there have gone through many hardships. This gave me good results. But truly, this body is even weaker than I thought. It seems I will have to keep going to the quotation house. Then the scene of the quotation house is shown where Tayson has returned. All the girls begin running and say, "He is back." The one who spends the night with him becomes extremely beautiful. He is truly a real man. Then all the girls surround Tayson and say, "Today you look very handsome. Who will you choose today?" Then a girl standing above gets angry and says, "He came again." Then it is explained she is the owner of Fragment Flower House. Someone next to her says, "Should I install noise isolation in his room?" The owner says, "I tried that, but it was useless." As soon as he comes, all the girls pounce on him. Even if we isolate the noise, it won't help. Because of this, our other customers are getting upset. Then the person next to her says, "I heard he is a big problem." The owner says, "Phantom Shadow, doesn't this seem strange to you? He is near death. No one knows when he will die. Why is he suddenly behaving like this? Why is he coming to a quotation house like Fragment Flower House instead of the Golden Wall Merchant?" Then Phantom Shadow says, "Should I go find out what the Golden Wall Merchant is doing?" The owner says, "No, don't do that. If we investigate carelessly, we will get into big trouble. Just watch him today. We just need to know what he does inside." Then Tayson is shown thinking, "I need a girl from whom I can absorb even more energy." Then he says, "I want to see all the girls here." After a while, many girls come. The servant says, "These are the most popular girls here. Besides them, no one could possibly attract your attention." Then a girl standing nearby is shown, and strong energy is coming from her. Seeing that, Tayson is shocked. Then he walks toward her and says, "I will decide who can attract me." The most popular girl makes a face seeing that and thinks, "Why is the young master going to her?" Tayson comes to the girl and asks, "What is your name?" She says, "My name is Danyang." Tayson says, "All right, then today I need you." The other girl says, "She is the ugliest girl here." Another girl says, "It seems the young master has a different taste." Then they go inside, and Tayson looks at Danyang and thinks, "Her soul has extremely depressing energy. This is exactly what I was looking for. Even though it is dangerous, I have already connected all the necessary meridians. I can take this risk. I can use her soul to connect my core meridian. When Taizan opens the door and enters, he looks forward and thinks, "Look at these bastards." Then he says, "Cheon, give me your sword." Cheon says, "Okay, young master." Taizan takes the sword and throws it forward. The sword contains Taizan's energy. It goes straight and gets stuck in the ceiling. Blood drips from the sword, meaning phantom shadow was above the ceiling. Seeing that, Cheon thinks, "Was there an assassin there?" Taizan says, "You are still alive." Then Taizan thinks, "Even though I've gotten stronger, I thought I could easily kill one man. But I am still very weak." Seeing the blood splatter, Danyong becomes terrified and starts shaking. Then Taizan says, "I'll leave this to you. I have something to do with her." Cheon says, "Yes, young master." Then Taizan turns back and says, "Danyong, today I will properly absorb your soul, so be ready." Then the scene shifts to another place, the Yunnan Manor. A girl says, "I heard that the second young master went to the quotation house again last night." The girl sitting in front of her says, "What do people call him these days?" Hearing this, the first girl starts thinking. Then information about this girl is given. Her name is Yusan, and she is the bodyguard of Yan Manor. Then she says, "People call him the Night King of Fragment Flower House and a passionate man." Hearing this, the girl sitting in front slams a book on the table and says, "Take me to Fragment Flower House. I want to meet him." Then we are told about this girl. She is the only daughter of Yan Manor, Yan Haran, and she is also Taizan's fiancée. Then the next day's scene is shown. Cheon greets and says, "Young master, I have come to take you back." But then Cheon becomes shocked because a lot of energy is coming out of Taizan's body. Then he says, "What did you do with the assassin?" And Cheon thinks while looking at Taizan, truly, extraordinary energy is coming out from him. Then Cheon says, "I imprisoned him in the prison." Taizan says, "You did very well. I need to rest. Let's go back." And Cheon, looking at Taizan, thinks, "Is he really the same second young master I knew? Not only his energy has changed, he is extremely skilled now. He can strike a hidden assassin with perfect accuracy. He looks like a completely different man." Then it is shown that they are going back, and Taizan looks at his hand thinking, "I have connected one core meridian. As a result, my body senses have increased greatly, but I still need to connect 6 more. My path is still long, but this body is no longer trash like before." Then he smiles and thinks, "A heavenly demon like me getting happy over a small achievement. It seems I have changed a lot." Then he focuses ahead and starts thinking. Then we see Yan Haran standing in front of him, with Yusen beside her. Seeing her, Taizan thinks, "Who is this woman? Why is she staring at me like this?" Then Lady Yan says, "Young master, did you go to the quotation house again today?" Taizan thinks, "I have never seen her before. Does she know Taizan?" It seems Taizan wasn't completely stupid. Then Lady Yan says, "Are you behaving like this because you are unhappy with our engagement? Are you trying to push me away intentionally?" Hearing this, Taizan becomes shocked and thinks, "Engagement?" Then Lady Yan comes very close and says, "Even if you are doing this intentionally, I will never leave you." Then she blushes and says, "So please, don't leave me." Seeing her, Tyson thinks, what is she talking about? I have never even seen her before. Then Taeson says, there is nothing like that. I will never leave you. Hearing this, Lady Yan smiles. Then she makes a cute face and says, so finally you acknowledged my feelings, accepted them. Then Taeson, walking away, thinks, if she hears what she wants to hear, then I will just leave. Then Lady Yan blushes and says, young Master Taeson. Hearing this, Taeson thinks, I can't believe a woman has embarrassed me, the former heavenly demon. This woman is very difficult to handle. Then he looks at Cheon and thinks, why did he leave me and walk so far ahead? Then we see Cheon, who is also blushing. Then sometime later, the scene shows Taeson bathing in hot water, and Soso is pouring hot water into the tub. Then Soso says, young master, I heard you met Lady Yan on the way back home. Taeson says, how do you know about this? Soso says, I have eyes and ears everywhere in Wuhan. Hearing this, Taeson thinks, so she will be the one who tells me all the information about this place. Then Soso says, is Warrior Cheon okay? Taeson says, is Cheon sick? Soso says, don't you know? Warrior Cheon likes Warrior Yu. Taeson says, Warrior Yu? Who is that? Soso says, she is Lady Yan's bodyguard. Warrior Cheon's eyes are always fixed on her. Hearing this, Taeson thinks, so that's why he left me and went ahead. Then he smiles and thinks, fear and respect. Back then, these things were beyond imagination, when only fear and respect existed. But for some reason, I am not angry at all. Maybe because my soul has mixed with Taeson's soul. There are so many interesting things here that I need to learn. Then nighttime comes at the Golden Wall Merchant's prison. Cheon and Taeson are shown. Cheon says, I have blocked his pressure points, but he is extremely cruel. He can do anything in the blink of an eye. Taeson says, is that so? Excellent. Now release him. ... Phantom Shadow, the assassin, is lying there. Seeing him, Taeson smiles and thinks, this is very good. He has a lot of negative energy. An assassin has the most dangerous thoughts. But their soul energy is also extremely powerful. This means I can take a lot from him. Then Phantom Shadow is shown unconscious, and a lot of negative energy is coming out of him. Only Taeson can see this energy. Taeson thinks, now that my core meridian is connected, I can try this. Then he says, Cheon, go outside. Cheon says, but young master, he is dangerous. What are you planning to do? Taeson says, even if you knew, what would you do? You couldn't even sense his presence. Then Cheon says anxiously, but this is different. If you stay alone with him, it could be dangerous for you. Taeson angrily says, I will not repeat myself. Then Cheon bows his head and says, okay, I understand. Cheon leaves and stands outside the prison. Cheon thinks, again, I can't breathe because of the pressure coming from inside. It feels like I am standing in front of a peak martial master. Then suddenly a loud screaming sound comes from inside the prison. Hearing it, Cheon thinks, whose voice is that? Is it the young master? No, it is not his voice. What is happening inside? Then inside the prison, Taeson is shown using his soul augmentic demonic art. Taeson thinks, this assassin is even more dangerous than I expected. His soul is extremely filthy. Then the impure energy along with the soul starts peeling out. The pain makes Taeson cough and he thinks, is this energy too much for me to handle? There is black energy in his hands. Then Taeson thinks, after purifying the impure parts of the soul, only pure soul energy remains. But in this case, the soul is too corrupt. Even though it isn't too much, it is mixed. It seems I still need to keep going to the quotation house. So, what is happening is Tyson removes the impure soul energy from people and uses that energy for himself. That is why the women in the quotation house looked beautiful, because Tyson absorbed their impurities. Then the scene shifts to Fragment Flower House. The owner is worried, biting her nails. She snaps her fingers and says, "It has already been 2 days since that brat Tyson took Phantom Shadow away. Still no news about him." The servant says, "We have no news yet." Then someone opens the door and says, "Madam, this is important. Come outside and see. Phantom Shadow has returned, but he looks very strange." Phantom Shadow is shown. Red energy is coming out of him, and he is screaming in pain. The owner says, "What happened to him? Block his pressure points and wake him up." The servant tries, but when he presses the pressure point, Phantom Shadow's body starts melting. The owner and servant are shocked. The owner is so shocked, she falls to her knees. Phantom Shadow's entire flesh melts in the blink of an eye. The furious owner says, "Golden Wall Merchant's second young master, is this how you want to play with me?" Then she stands and says, "Where is Danyong?" The servant says, "We were preparing to send her to the Crimson Sect leader." The owner says, "Instead of sending Danyong, we will send Byok Tyson to the Crimson Dragon Sect leader." The servant panics and says, "If we do that, the Crimson Dragon Sect will go after us. If they find out, they will kill us all." The owner says, "I know. Cancel their visit. Fragment Flower House will send a very good gift to the second young master." Then we are told that within a short time, a rumor spread rapidly in Fragment Flower House. Whoever spends the night with Byok Tyson becomes so beautiful as if reborn. People believe he is a god who makes women beautiful and restores their youth. Earlier, I thought this was just a rumor among the Fragment Flower House women. I also thought so, but now I don't think so. The one saying this is Danyong. She says, "I want to serve him." The owner laughs and says, "Really? Is he truly a descendant sent from heaven? Do you want to serve him? Have you fallen for him? Tell me what he said. Did he tell you he will repay your debt and ask you to serve him?" Danyong says, "He didn't say anything to me." The owner says, "I don't know what he said, but until your debt is cleared, you are indebted to Fragment Flower House. You must obey my orders, so obey me and prepare to go to the Crimson Dragon Sect leader." Then the present time scene is shown. Danyong is standing at the Golden Wall Merchant Manor gate. She thinks, "I thought I would be dragged to the Crimson Dragon Sect leader, but I ended up here. Is this my fate? I'm very nervous. Will he accept me? What if he thinks I am dirty? What will I do then? But still, I want to meet him again." Then Tyson is shown, trying to connect his meridians using impure energy. Suddenly he hears a sound outside, so he stops and opens his eyes, looking to the side. Then So-So says, "Young master, a visitor has come." The visitor is Danyong. She enters. Seeing her, Tyson thinks, "What is Danyong doing here?" Then Danyong says, "Greetings, young master Tyson. I want to serve you, and that is why I suddenly came here to meet you. This life was given to me by you, so I want to live for you. I hope you will allow me to stay with you." Tyson looks at her and thinks, she looks completely different. Is this because I purified all her impure thoughts? Meaning I removed all her dirty thoughts. Interesting. Then he says, So-So, where do you sleep?" So-So says, "I stay in the pavilion where other servants live." Tyson says, Find another place. Both of you will live together, and that place must be near me. So becomes shocked and says, will she work as a maid? Taisen says, then what else will she do? Then Taisen leaves and says, and if I ever go outside, take care of her. So looks at Dainang and thinks, she is too beautiful to be a maid. Why is the young master doing this? Is it because he doesn't have much time left to live? Then the scene shifts to Wu Han's top 3 quotation houses. The second quotation house, Fallen Flower House. Taisen arrives there and reads the name, saying, Fallen Flower House. I like this name. I'm excited for the impure soul energy of the people here. Then he walks inside, saying, for now I will only go to Fallen Flower House. Cheon says, yes, young master. Then someone shouts, Golden Wall Merchant's second young master, there he is. Hearing this, Cheon turns to look. Then we are told about this man. He is Wee Juksum, the leader of the Crimson Dragon sect. He says, I was surprised to hear who took my Danyong away. And it turns out to be just a small child. Taisen says, what is this muscle man's problem? Cheon says, he is the Crimson Dragon sect leader, Wee Juksum. Taisen says, Crimson Dragon sect? Then Cheon says, this is an unorthodox group who have established themselves in this area. Then Taisen says, unorthodox group? Don't they look like bandits? They are nothing more than leeches. How did they even dare to take such a big name? After that, Taisen turns around and while leaving says, ignore them. Seeing which Jiak-sim says, are you ignoring me? Your face looks like that of a girl. Hearing these words, Taisen stops right there and starts looking at Jiak-sim angrily, and he starts thinking, from before, he hated this boy's handsome face, and how dare you call my face a girl's face? Seeing him, Jiak-sim laughs a lot and says, why are you staring at me so intensely? If you had been born in a dog society, even a female dog would feel shy after seeing you. Then Taisen says to Cheon, leave him. I am leading the rest of the people to you. After that, Cheon takes out his sword and starts thinking that there are 2 men here. After that, we are shown Jiak-sim's 2 henchmen, who were taking Jion very lightly. Then Jiak-sim says, you keep bodyguards to show yourself as a man, and you also have some courage, so I will let you go, but on one condition, that you will give me the Dani. Then Taisen says, that question does not even arise. You talk too much nonsense. Do you fight only with that big mouth of yours? Hearing these words, Jiak-sim gets angry and says, what did you just say, little kid? Then while attacking Taisen, he says, it seems like you want to go to hell today. But before sending you to hell, I will ruin this girl-like face of yours. Then we are shown Cheon, who had finished off both of his henchmen, and he starts getting nervous while looking toward Taisen. Then it is shown that Jiakan attacks Taisen, but Taisen stands very calmly in front of him. Then Chan shouts loudly and says, young master, move away from there quickly. Then we are shown Taisen, who is moving his hands so fast that even after images are being formed. Then it is shown that Taisen very quickly moves to the side and with the palm of his hand delivers a powerful punch under Jokum's chin. After that, Taisen starts thinking to himself, I had to hold myself back, because this body will not be able to endure my full power. This body is truly still very weak. Then it is shown that with that punch, Jiak-sim is finished right there on the spot. Then Cheon comes and says, young master, are you all right? Then Taisen says, have you already killed the rest of the people? Then Cheon says, no, I have not killed those people. Then Tayson says, "You are very weak. Finish those people and follow me." Then Cheon says, "All right, young master. I understand." And if anyone asks about this, it was you who killed the mighty Joksim. I don't like getting involved in troublesome matters. Chon replies, "All right, young master." Then Chon looks at Joksim and thinks, he killed the Crimson Dragon sect leader with just one bare-handed strike. This cannot be coincidence. Earlier too, he caught the hidden assassin. Who exactly is he? Now, in the second part of Season 1, we see the Golden Wall Merchant Manor, where Tayson looks at his hand and thinks, "My body is in terrible condition. I used half of the energy I had accumulated. This is not the time when I used to be the heavenly demon. This body can easily break even from a small shock. I know I was careless, but how can I, the heavenly demon, let a man go who called my face girl-like?" Then Tayson leaves his room and asks Chen, "By the way, what is the bodyguard of Yun Harin doing here?" Then we see Yusin has arrived, and she also sees Tayson. She says, "Young master, you have arrived." Then she stands and greets him. Tayson says, "You didn't come here to drink tea, so tell me, what's the matter?" And Chen blushes, looking at Sayan. Then Sayan says, "That woman who just came, did you bring her from the quotation house?" Hearing this, Tayson thinks she came by herself, but I don't want to bother explaining that. So Tayson says, "If I did." Hearing this, Sayan stares intensely at Tayson. Then she asks, "Did you just return from the quotation house?" Tayson says, "Yes." Then he thinks, what problem does she have? Then Sayan lowers her head and says, "Your engagement with the young miss will be broken." Tayson says, "Oh, is that so?" Sayan says, "Your fiancé received a marriage proposal, and since this proposal came from the Zhongli clan of the Murim Alliance, the master of the Yon Manor decided to break the engagement because of me. The decision is not final because our young miss is against breaking it." Hearing this, Tayson thinks, in this situation, it must be difficult for her to oppose breaking the engagement. Then Tayson says, "I doubt you came here only to tell me this. Did the Yon Manor send you because they think the Zhongli clan might harm me?" Sayan says, "Yes, young miss sent me to protect you. You don't know." But the Zhongli clan, Tayson cuts her off and says, "They are just filthy ba." Sayan says, "You shouldn't speak about the Zhongli clan openly like that." Hearing this, Tayson smiles and thinks, in the battle against the heavenly demon, they were the clan who abandoned the battlefield and ran away. To think that the survivors are still troubling people. Then Tayson stands up and says, "In any case, you will protect me, right?" The more I think about it, the more interesting it seems. Then we are shown the night scene where they are going to the quotation house. Tayson is thinking, "Finally, I have found someone who is a challenge for me. Tonight I will form my second core." Behind him, Sayan keeps staring at him intensely, which Tayson also notices. He turns back and says, "Don't follow me if you don't want to." Sayan says, "Whether I want to or not, this is my young miss's order, so I must do it." Tayson says, "Fine, do as you wish." Then Tayson suddenly stops. John asks, "What happened, young master?" Tayson says, "How many people are there?" Chon doesn't understand for a moment, but then realizes someone is following them. John says, "There are 3 people." Tayson says, "No, not 3, 4. The assassins also hear this, and all 4 appear. They say, "Looks like our ambush has failed." Then the 4th assassin says from behind, "So, I'll tell you straight, you 3, come with me. I need you." Tayson says, "Chon, I want you to guess how skilled they are." Chon says, "Okay, young master." He observes closely and looks at the fourth assassin. He thinks, from his energy and the smell of blood coming from him, it's clear. He is not an ordinary assassin from the Orthodox faction, but I am 3 levels higher than him. Tae-san says, then why are you standing here? Go and verify your guess. Prove that you are right. Then Chien lifts one foot and disappears like blinking speed, instantly appearing near the assassins. The assassins think, what is this? Why can't we move our bodies? Chien quickly moves between them and goes toward the fourth assassin. The assassin says, do you want to stop me alone? You stupid bastard. You have good energy, but stop pretending to be at the top and quietly come with me. Then the assassin attacks Chien. Chien barely dodges. He attacks again immediately, but Chien deflects the strike with his sword, though the force pushes him back. Then Chien attacks the assassin, and when the assassin tries to block, he is shocked and thinks, I underestimated him. I thought he was just a merchant's bodyguard, but he is far more skilled. Then the assassin jumps to deliver a powerful strike. Cyan says, shouldn't we help him? Tae-san says, no, there is no need. He will finish him in one strike. But suddenly, a loud scream is heard. When Sayan looks forward, she sees that Chon has cut off the assassin's hand. Seeing this, Sayan is shocked and thinks, this is impossible. He clashed swords only 5 times and defeated him. Is he really this skilled? Then Tae-san says, what? Just one hand of his is enough? He is being very gentle. And there, Sayan is thinking, Warrior Chien is strong. But earlier, he was never at this level. Did young Master Tyson give him some kind of elixir? Then Tyson says, don't just stand there. Handle the rest of the people. I have to ask them some questions, so block their pressure points and tie them to the side of the road. Then Sayan also jumps from her place and very quickly reaches the assassins and blocks their pressure points. Then she looks around and starts thinking, where did the last assassin go? Suddenly, Chan's voice comes from behind, saying, young Master Tyson, move away from there. Hearing this, when Sayan looks at Tyson, a sword is right in front of his neck. Seeing this, Sayan becomes very nervous. It is shown that the last assassin had placed his sword right at Tyson's neck and was about to attack him. But Tyson, just like before, doth not move from his place at all. But this time Chan arrives and slams that assassin onto the ground. Seeing this, Tyson starts thinking, what is he doing here? Then he looks to the side and thinks, instead of chasing the assassin, he came here to save me. Then Chan says, young master, are you okay? Then Tae-san looks at Chan and thinks, he is very careless. Then Chan apologizes, saying, forgive me for not being able to catch the assassin. Hearing this, Tyson starts smiling and thinks, if I were the heavenly demon, this mistake was not forgivable. But for some reason, I am not getting angry. Then Tyson says, forget it. Tie up the remaining assassins with rope and gather them in one place. Then it is shown that the 3 assassins are tied with rope. Then Tyson says, what should we do with them? Chan replies, I think killing them is the better choice. Then one assassin says, let me go. Whatever questions you ask, I will answer all of them. Hearing this, everything becomes silent for a moment. Then Tyson says, when no one is saying anything, I will kill all of you. The 3 assassins immediately say, no, we can talk. Then one assassin says, we are from the Crimson Dragon sect, and the vice leader there ordered us to do this. And he also starts telling everything that happened today, hearing which the other 2 assassins become shocked. In their minds, they are telling him to stop talking. Tyson turns away and says while walking, "Take them with us. As long as they talk, they will stay alive." Hearing this, Sayan thinks, "Don't tell me he will still go to the quotation house." Then it is shown that they arrive at the fallen flower house. Both of them stand outside Tyson's room while Tyson is inside doing his work. But due to the girl's screaming sounds, they misunderstand and start feeling embarrassed. When Sayan looks at Chayan, Chayan turns his face away. Sayan asks, "Warrior Chayan, is this okay? Don't you need to go inside?" Chayan replies, "It's all fine. We just have to wait until morning." Seeing him, Sayan thinks, "Why is his expression like this? Don't tell me he has always been like this." And the entire night, the boy's screaming echoes through the quotation house, and even the assassins hear it. Then it is shown that morning arrives. Tyson finishes his task and comes out of the room, where Cheon, Sion, and the three assassins are waiting. Sayan is thinking of him like a wild animal, while the assassins see him as a real man. Tessin says, "Is he still alive?" I said, "As long as they keep talking, keep them alive." Cheon says, "He was talking until now." Tyson asks, "Is that so? Then give me the summary." Cheon explains, "They were ordered to bring you to the Crimson Dragon sect, and the identity of the assassin who escaped is known only to the leader of the Crimson Dragon sect." Hearing this, Tyson thinks, yes, he was no ordinary unorthodox martial artist. If he were a normal bodyguard, he wouldn't have been able to handle him. Fortunately, Cheon is much stronger. Maybe the Zhongli clan is helping the Crimson Dragon sect leader. Then Tyson says, "First we will go to the East Estate of Golden Wall Merchant. Take them along." A scene shifts to Golden Wall Merchant's East Estate, where they arrive. Tessin opens the door and the three assassins are kneeling. Tyson says, "I will first cast a restriction on them, and from today I will teach you both some useful martial arts. Pay attention and learn properly." Hearing this, both of them think, "Is he going to teach us martial arts?" Tyson says, "This is a simple restriction technique. I will start by teaching you this." Then he explains how to do it. Listening to him, the assassins become very scared. They think, "What is this? I have never seen a technique like this." But I understood it immediately. Then Tyson says, "Watch carefully. If thou disobey my orders, this will happen to thee." He places 2 fingers near the assassin's neck and uses the restriction technique. The assassin starts screaming loudly in pain. His condition becomes extremely miserable. Tyson says, "You can use different restriction techniques on the other 2. Practice with them." Chayan says, "Yes, young master." Seeing this, Sayan thinks, "Does young master Tyson know such strange techniques?" And warrior Chayan follows everything he says. Tessin says, "Start. This time their eggs should break." From their expressions, anyone can understand what level of pain they must be feeling. Then the scene shifts to Josh Pavilion, where 2 people are talking. This man's name is Biopeng. He is the master of Josh Pavilion and Tyson's uncle. He says, "The fragrant flower house still hasn't acknowledged." The man standing in front says, "If we keep putting pressure on them like this, eventually they will agree." This is Viok Vang's son, Vyong Sangil, and the future master of Josh Pavilion. The Pavilion master closes the scroll and says, "Doesn't matter whether they acknowledge or not. We must use this incident to our advantage and do whatever we can for Golden Wall Merchant. The Fragrant Flower House is actually an intelligence organization pretending to be a quotation house. We must take this opportunity to bring them under Golden Wall Merchant. Sangul says, "All right, I will handle it." The pavilion master asks, "Any other news?" Sangul says, "The Crimson Dragon sect leader is dead, and it seems there is a power struggle within the sect. They will soon split into two groups. It also seems an outsider is involved. Could it be?" The pavilion master replies, "Yes, the Golden Heavenly Alliance is involved. They are extremely dangerous. Keep a close eye on them." Then it is explained that some merchants formed an alliance called the Golden Heavenly Alliance. Outwardly, they act as if they help each other, but actually, they plan to destroy Golden. The pavilion master wonders what their next plan will be. Sangul says, "If we find anything suspicious, we will go after them immediately." They both start thinking silently. The pavilion master says, "I heard Tyson is being called the Night King. Have you heard of any medicine or food he is consuming specially?" Sangul says, "I haven't heard anything like that. I think instead of health, his stamina is extremely high." Smart people understood what he meant. Sangul says, "I don't know when he will die, but he still wants to have fun. But this will only make him die earlier." The pavilion master says, "I know." Then he thinks, "Even though this is the case, I still hate him." Then the scene shifts back to Tyson. The three assassins are kneeling, and Soso is standing in front, asking, "What is happening?" Tyson says, "You said you needed some people to do work, so I brought them." Soso looks at them and thinks, "They look very strange." And Tyson thinks, "If you don't like them, don't use them." Soso thinks, "Before leaving, I told him this, and he remembered it and brought these strange-looking laborers, too." It seems like he suddenly became a kind man. Then Tyson says, "All right, from today, you are Black 1, Black 2, and you are Black 3. You people live in the dark, so I gave you names like that." The three assassins hear their names and say, "What?" Tyson glares and says, "You don't like these names." The three bow their heads and say, "No, we like these names very much. From today, we are Black 1, Black 2, and Black 3. Then Tyson turns and says, "You heard it. From today, these are their names. Use them however you want." Then he asks, "By the way, where is Cheyenne? I haven't seen him." Soso says, "He must be training right now." Tyson says, "Training again? For a core member, he is living a foolishly honest life." Then Cheyenne is shown training, thinking. In the fight against the Crimson Dragon sect leader, the palm strike young Master Tyson used was very light, but it was a deadly killing move. "I have never seen martial arts like this before. How did he do it?" He says, "I never regretted joining the Short Dragon Corps. If Golden Wall Merchant is ever in danger, I just have to be ready to help. As long as I do that, I earn good money. But the truth is, when I cannot become stronger, I start feeling troubled. But then I saw a chance, someone who can help fulfill my desire." Then a voice calls, "The sun is about to set. How long will you keep training?" Cheyenne turns around and says, "Young master, you are here?" It is Tyson, who says, "Hurry, we are going to the quotation house." Cheyenne says, "Okay, young master, but I want to ask one question." Tyson says, "All right, ask." Cheyenne says, "Have you decided that you will no longer hide your true self?" Tyson asks, "What are you talking about hiding?" Cheyenne says, "First the fragrant flower house incident, then the Crimson Dragon sect leader, and now the restriction technique." After seeing all of this, I have understood. Hearing this, Tyson becomes shocked and thinks, "Did he really find out who I actually am? I always thought of him as a foolish warrior. Looks like I was too careless. I shouldn't have shown my cards. I cannot let anyone know that I am the heavenly demon. I liked him, but now I have no choice but to kill him." The next moment, Chayan kneels down and says, "Young master, please help me." Kaisen becomes confused. Chayan says, "I heard that people whose meridians are cut are geniuses. Your meridians are cut too, right? Please make me your disciple." Tyson becomes momentarily speechless. He thinks, does he think I am a martial master, hiding my true power? Chayan says, "I want to become strong. I want revenge." Tyson asks, "Revenge?" Chayan says, "Yes, I want revenge on the one who destroyed my sect." Tyson says, "Don't let your revenge become your motivation." Chayan doesn't understand. Tyson says, "Countless people have lost their sects. You are just one of those countless people." Hearing this, Chayan starts thinking. Tyson says, "Those who let their emotions become motivation, people who act, pretend do not last for a long time. Such people, in the end, lose and disappear, at least until their desire for revenge becomes calm. Because of this, keep your desire to become strong, clean, and pure." After hearing his words, Chayan remains standing exactly where he was. Then Tyson says, "Once you become strong, you can take your revenge whenever you want." Hearing his words, Chayan greets him and says, "I understand, young master." After that, the night scene is shown where they are going to the quotation house. Then Taesan turns back and looks at Sayan. Then he says to Chayan, "Don't pretend like you don't even know her." Then Chayan says, "What do you mean by that?" Then Taesan says, "Stop pretending to be ignorant." Then Chayan says, "What are you talking about?" And right there, seeing them, Sayan thinks, "I can't believe it. We roast him. What does our young miss even see in a man like him?" Then Taesan says, "Wait, I smell blood." Then Sayan and Chayan both sniff and say, "But we don't smell anything." Then Tyson puts his hand on his head and says, "Do you people sense only with your nose?" Then he starts thinking. "It feels like a one-armed man has come, and with him I sense another presence too. It seems he brought another man along." Then Tyson tells Chayan, "There are two of them. Go and finish one of them." Then Chayan leaves. Then Sayan feels something coming from the side. And it was a knife, which Tyson caught between his two fingers. Then he says, "If you keep standing like this, you'll be killed very easily by an ambush." Hearing this, Sayan becomes very shocked. Then Tyson says, "Stop staring at me and pay attention to that man. That man is right in front." Then Sayan also draws her sword and gets ready. After that, a one-armed man is shown, who attacks Sayan as soon as he arrives. Sayan blocks the attack with her swords at the right moment. Then that one-armed assassin says, "The one I fought before was much stronger than you." Then the assassin jumps backward. Seeing this, Sayan runs behind him, saying, "Stop right there." But as soon as she steps forward, she steps on a trap, which causes an explosion. Seeing this, Sayan thinks, "Was a trap already set here?" Then that assassin leaves Sayan and starts going toward Tessan. Seeing this, Sayan thinks, "No, he was waiting for a chance from the beginning. When he gets the chance, he will kill the young master." Then the scene is shown where he thrusts his blade straight toward Tessan. Then Tyson is shown smiling, and the assassin becomes extremely shocked because Tyson slightly moves to the side and traps his sword between his hand. Seeing this, the assassin thinks, "How is this possible?" But Tyson does not give him a chance and strikes his throat, causing the assassin to vomit blood and fall to his knees. Seeing this, Seon thinks, impossible. He defeated that assassin with just one strike. Then Tyson says, control thyself. During battle, stop being swayed by others. Then Seon says, forgive me for this. Then Taesan says, all right, take him with us. We'll find out something using him. Then Seon says, okay, young master. Then as she lifts him, she thinks, the assassin died in just one move. But even then, it is hard to believe that young master Taesan used only his hand. Then she looks at Taesan and thinks, it feels like I have met someone who will change my life. For now, I must stay with him to learn what technique he used. Then the scene moves ahead. Seon is shown carrying the assassin, tied in a sack. Then Tyson says, looking at the situation right now, you are too weak to protect me. Hearing this, Seon apologizes. Then Taesan says, from now on, you will train with Chaeon. Hearing this, Seon thinks, is he accepting me as his disciple? Warrior Chaeon says, it feels like we are forgetting someone. Then suddenly they realize Chaeon is not with them, which she tells Tyson. Then Taesan says, no need to worry about him. He can take care of himself. Then Seon says, but, and Taesan interrupts, if you want, you can go and bring him. Then Seon is shown having killed the companion of the assassin. Then Chaeon, sheathing his sword, thinks, he was even stronger than I expected. But I still defeated him. But why do I not feel any human presence here? Where did both of them go? Here, Chaeon is talking about Tyson and Seon. Then the scene shifts to Golden Wall Merchant's Josh Pavilion. The pavilion master says, did they take the corpses to the quotation house? Then Sangil says yes, and because of that, many people now know about the incident. A pavilion master says, we wanted to quietly absorb the fragrant flower house, but it seems difficult now. Then Sangil says, we tried to identify the corpses, but there were very few marks on their bodies, so we couldn't identify them. Also, the Crimson Dragon sect says they had no choice except to go after young Master Tyson. They are still pretending to be ignorant and denying they know the identity of their client, probably because they cannot admit they were taking revenge for their strict leader's death. Then the pavilion master says, we must solve this incident, because right now many eyes are watching. It could affect the reputation of the Golden Wall Merchant. Sangil says, I understand. We will do whatever we can. Then the pavilion master says, and it seems we gave Tyson too much freedom. I heard he has become very healthy lately. Sangil says, thinking that after losing his vitality, he has become even healthier. Could he be using some special elixir? Then the pavilion master says, for now we must wait and see. Then the scene shifts to Tyson sitting at the dining table with everyone. Tyson says, won't you eat? Chaeon says, how can we eat with you? Tyson replies, you are my people, so isn't it natural to eat with me? Then he says, from now on, we will all eat together. Then Soso tells Tyson, young master, the divine physician is coming today. Tyson asks, who is he? Soso explains, he is a very famous physician who can even fix severed meridians. Tyson says, there is no need. I can go to the quotation house and cure my illness. Hearing this, Soso says, young master, that is impossible. You cannot absorb yin energy and recover yang energy that way. Explanation. Yin energy stays inside women, and yang energy stays inside men. Soso means Tyson cannot heal himself by absorbing yin energy from women of the quotation house. Such a technique does not exist. But Tyson was a heavenly demon in his past life, so he can do it with his dominance art. Then Tyson asks, "When is the divine physician coming?" Soso says, "I heard he has arrived in the city. He will be here soon." Tyson asks, "Is he already inside the Golden Wall Manor?" Soso says, "No, he has been given another place to stay. I heard he wishes to observe the area where you live." Then Tyson says, "Really? Interesting. I also know someone like that." Then a man is shown standing far away, adjusting his hat and holding a staff. This is the divine physician. He says, "Golden Wall Merchant, such a magnificent name." Then the scene returns to Tyson and everyone eating. Tyson says, "I heard you've been helping a lot." Black One happily says, "It's nothing big. I just focused on storage." Then Tyson says to Black 2 and Black 3, "You two should work harder." They reply, "Yes, young master, we will do our best." Then Black One flatters him, saying, "These days you look so handsome. Not only handsome, you look tall, muscular, and your skin looks so soft. I feel like I'm falling in love with you." Tyson replies, "This sounds very strange. It feels like I should use a restriction technique on your mouth." Hearing this, Black One panics and says, "Forgive me, I won't say such things again." Then Tyson thinks, "I look much better than before. Is this because of the soul augmenting dominance art? Whatever it is, I must gather more souls. If I continue like this, one day I will become as strong as before." Then the divine physician is shown arriving at the manor with his people. A man named Mojin, the chief steward of Golden Wall Manor, greets him and says, "It is an honor to meet you." The divine physician says, "It's just fate. Can you take me to your patient first?" Seeing him, Mojin thinks, "He is much younger than I thought. Does he use some kind of elixir?" Then, as they walk, the divine physician praises the manor. Mojin says, "Master worked very hard to build it. It is among the top 3 pavilions of Golden Wall Manor." Then the divine physician sees Donnie and becomes shocked. He asks, "Who is that woman?" Mojin replies, "She is the servant of the second young master. She came from a famous quotation house and was one of the women who requested to serve the young master." Then the divine physician looks to the side and asks, "Are all those women also here to request to serve him?" Mojin says, "Yes, they are recently arrived women who asked to serve the second young master." Then the divine physician says, "All these women possess extremely rare body constitutions. They are so special that I want all of them for myself." Hearing this, Mojin becomes shocked and thinks, "Does he want all of them? I didn't know the great divine physician was such a lustful man." Then Mojin says, "I understand your feelings. They are very beautiful." The divine physician says, "I'm talking about their pure physical form. This is the name my master gave to that body constitution. Their bodies are as pure as snow. Teach them anything, they learn instantly." Mojin apologizes for misunderstanding. The divine physician says, "It's fine. Can I take them as my disciples?" Mojin becomes shocked. The divine physician says, "If you give me permission, I will never forget this favor." Then he thinks, it doesn't matter how beautiful they are. As long as they are foolish, their beauty is of no use. He won't let go of the chance to build a good relationship with me. Besides, I have several famous physicians under me, so he won't refuse. Then the scene shifts. Tisan has refused the request. The divine physician says, "Shouldn't you think more about this? It is a great opportunity for your servants. Tyson says, I heard you already have more than 10 disciples and want 4 more. Aren't you being greedy? The divine physician says, those people are not his disciples. They only assist him. Tyson says, but it did not look like that. The way those old men were circling around you, they were either your subordinates or your disciples. You are much older than you appear, aren't you? Did I say it wrong? Hearing this, the divine physician sits silently. Then he says, learning my medical techniques is not easy. Tyson replies, why would they learn your medical techniques? For them I come first, and to be honest, thou art not taking them to teach thy medical arts. Are they not good material? Hearing this, the divine physician becomes confused for a moment. Then he thinks, he hath crossed his line. Then he says, material? How canst thou use a human as material? Tae-san replies, when did I say I use a human as material? I only asked whether they are good material or not. Hearing this, the divine physician thinks, he hath crossed the line too much. His meridians are broken. Should I kill him? If I say he died during treatment, they will let it go quietly. He is still thinking about all this. Just then, a drop of water comes toward him at very high speed and cuts his hat in the middle. Seeing this, even the divine physician is extremely shocked. Then Tae-san says, what do you think, that I am an easy target? You only have some lousy martial arts. That's why I don't think you have anything else to use except medical techniques. I feel that killing you right here would be the best option. Why, am I not right? And there the divine physician is shown, who is completely torn apart. In the end, what is this bloodlust? After that, he slams his hand on the table and shouts, what do you think? What are you doing? Then Tae-san withdraws his bloodlust, and there the divine physician is panting heavily. Then Tae-san says, you troubled me a little. The people who have come under me, suddenly some people start appearing, and they begin trying to take my people away. Is this okay? Do you know, I just want to live a peaceful life. And there the divine physician is shown, who is shaken deeply from inside. He starts thinking, I have felt this fear before as well. Then Tae-san says, by the way, I needed someone to handle my troublesome matters. And there the divine physician trembles while thinking, it feels like I have come to a place where I should never have come. After that, a scene from some time later is shown. Mojin says, so do you really want to work at Golden Wall Manor now? In front of him is the divine physician who says, yes, I want to work for young Master Tae-san. Then Mojin says, you have made a very good decision. Golden Wall Merchant will not disappoint you at all. Then the divine physician says, that's fine. I trust young Master Tae-san. No. Hearing this, the physicians who came with him start talking among themselves. What suddenly happened to him? And there the divine physician starts thinking, I have lived a free life for a long time. But in the end, I have come here and gotten stuck. His treatment will take more than 2 months, but with my skills I can treat him quickly. But that bloodlust of his cannot belong to an ordinary person. It is a good thing that I didn't wet my pants. Then Chayan is shown saying, young master, will this be all right? Then Tae-san says, what? Then Chian says, I have already put restrictions on all 12 physicians, but not on the divine physician. Then Tae-san says, I already did that. Then Chian says, you already did it? Then Tae-san says, yes, you wouldn't be able to do it. Then Chian says, then why did you tell me to do this for the others? Then Tae-san says, because I am sick. If I use my strength, I will get tired. Then Chian says, I understand, young master. and there Sion keeps staring at him. Then he says, "Besides that, he is not an ordinary physician." Just then, the divine physician arrives there. Seeing him, Qian says, "Divine physician, will you also come with us?" Then the divine physician says, "Yes, taking care of young Master Tisan is my duty, so it is decided that I will go." Then Sion says, "But is it okay for a sick person like him to go to the quotation house every day? And besides that, he stays busy the entire night." Hearing her words, the divine physician says in shock, "Is he busy the entire night?" Then he says to Taizan, "May I check your pulse?" Then Taizan says, "Fine, but whatever you have to do, do it quickly." Then smiling, he starts thinking, "Now I can see the condition of your body." But as soon as he checks Taizan's pulse, he says in great shock, "How can this be possible? This makes no sense at all. Young master, are you really a living man?" Hearing his words, both Kayan and Sion become shocked. Then Taizan says, "Isn't it good that I am still alive?" Then the divine physician says, "But I have never seen such seriously broken meridians before. Even the smallest meridians are broken. This clearly means that you are dead." Then Taizan says, "Xiong, he is asking me whether I am a dead corpse. What should I do with him?" Then Chayan says, "We should crush both of his testicles." Then the divine physician, releasing Taizan's hand, says, "No, that's not what I meant. I only wanted to say that your body is in a dying state. You should get your treatment done as soon as possible." No. Sounding. Then Taizan says, "Can you bet your life on what you just said?" Then the divine physician says, "Absolutely not. I cannot do that. After all, treating you is my duty." Seeing him, Sion starts thinking, "I don't know what he is doing, but he is shameless." Then the divine physician says, "But I did not check your pulse wrongly." Then Taizan says, "If you can't bet your life, then shut your mouth and follow me. Otherwise, go back home." Then the divine physician says, "Absolutely, I will follow you." Then the divine physician starts thinking, "No matter how much I think about it, his body's condition is such that he shouldn't even be able to move properly. So how is he walking so easily?" Then coming near Taizan, he says, "Young master, how did you come to know about me?" Then Taizan says, "I don't know who you are talking about." Then the divine physician says, "What kind of joke are you making? Aren't you a cult member? Or maybe you are from the secret branch of the Golden Wall Merchant Guild's cult." Hearing his words, Kayan and Sion don't understand anything. But then Taizan stops and turns back and says, "I don't know which cult you are talking about, but do those people know that you are openly talking about them?" Then Taizan turns around and walks forward, saying, "If you want, keep talking like this. I am also curious to see how long a man who talks like this can stay alive." Seeing his anger, the divine physician thinks fearfully, "What kind of foolish actions was I doing? I completely forgot about that bloodlust for some time. If I say something wrong, I could lose my life." He gets so scared that he might wet his pants, so he places his hand on a very precious spot. After that, a scene of the divine physician is shown at the Golden Wall Merchant Guild, where he starts thinking while remembering last night's promises. The way I observed Taizan last night, according to that, he keeps doing the same thing the entire night. But what is even more surprising is that even though he is not as pure as the women of the Golden Wall Merchant Guild, still the women of that quotation house have a pure physical body constitution. All those women spent the night with Bayuk Taizan. He must definitely have some technique by which he can turn any body into a pure physical form, and maybe it takes him 6 hours to complete that technique. I have many questions in my mind, but for now I must make a good impression on him so that I can extract information from him. Just then Soso comes there and says, "Divine Physician, young master is calling you." Then the divine physician says, "All right," and starts going with Soso, thinking, "Why is he calling me? What does he think? I can't understand him at all." Then he reaches Taezan, where Kion and Sion were also present. Then Taezan says, "You said that you are very skilled in medical techniques." Then the divine physician, slightly nervous, says, "Even if it doesn't look like it, I am one of the best physicians in the world. There are only 5 people in the world who are better than me." Then Taezan says, "Are there 5 more people who are better than you?" Then the divine physician says, "No matter how skilled I am, I cannot compare myself to them. Poison demon, feeling immortal, and needle eccentric, sir." Hearing his words, Sion says, "Are there people from the demonic cult among those 5? Then the divine physician says, "Yes. In the demonic cult, there is the demon physician, and there is one more who is just as skilled as him, but no one knows where he is. Now it has become even more difficult to find him because the demonic cult has gone into hiding." Then Taezan says, "The demonic cult has gone into hiding?" Then Sion says, "Don't you know about this? This rumor is very widespread in the Murim Alliance, that it is covered by an isolation enchantment and is separated from the entire world. I have heard that it is such an enchantment that cannot be removed without a key." Hearing her words, Taezan starts thinking, "I think they are talking about the mythical heaven enchantment." The demonic cult's enchantment is essentially the mythical heaven enchantment, which activates after the cult leader dies and is removed after a new cult leader is chosen. Without a cult leader, breaking that enchantment is impossible. In my past life, I killed all the candidates. So without a new cult leader besides me, there is no one else who can break this mythical heaven enchantment. Then Taezan says, "That's enough. Tell me this. Can you reattach a severed arm?" Then the divine physician says, "Absolutely, I can do that. I can save anyone, no matter how bad their condition is, as long as they are alive." Then Taezan says, "Fine. You have to take care of the training of those 2. Hearing his words, the divine physician says, "Do I have to help with their training? But I mostly know medical techniques." But Taezan ignores his words and says to Kion, "You heard it, right? Until you don't die. No matter how bad your condition is, he can fix you. So don't worry if any of your body parts get cut. Just make sure to protect your head from getting cut." Hearing his words, those people don't understand anything for a moment. Then Taezan says, "The best way to become strong is to fight real fights. If you 2 fight like you want to kill each other, then you can learn a lot." Hearing this, Kion and Sion start getting nervous. Then Taezan says to the divine physician, "You have to make sure that they don't kill each other." Then the divine physician says, "All right, young master." Then Chayan says, "But because of this, we may have problems protecting you." Then Taezan says, "Don't worry about that. From today, I will not go outside for 1 month. Within this 1 month, you have to become so strong that you can protect me properly." Then the divine physician says, "As long as you don't die instantly, I can fix you, so you can fight properly. And besides that, this training method is far better than what you are thinking. With its help, your skills will increase very fast." Then he starts thinking to himself, "Exactly, this will work, because this training method was started by the Heavenly Demon's secret cult. This means, guys, it is now confirmed that this divine physician is from the demonic cult." After that, a scene from 1 month later is shown, where Chaeyeon and Sayon are training. Then Chaeyeon attacks Sayon with his sword. She dodges that attack, but a small cut appears on her head. Then she grips her sword tightly and starts thinking, "He really wants to kill me." If that's the case, then after that she makes a straight attack on Chaeyeon with her sword, because of which a small cut appears on Chaeyeon's thigh and blood starts coming out from there. Just then, someone claps and says, "That's enough for today." Because of this, both of their attention goes toward him, and they get a little nervous because the divine physician is holding a small pot in his hand, from which a very foul smell is coming out. Then he says, "Now it's time to apply the physical injury balm," seeing which both of them fall to the ground. Then Chayan says, "I'm fine. I don't need this balm." Then the divine physician, putting his finger inside the small pot, says, "You're not telling the truth. I can see that you're badly injured. Even though it hurts a little, it's very effective." Just then Taizan arrives there and says, "The physical injury balm is fine." Seeing him, Sayan and Kayan shout, "Young master!" And there the divine physician is laughing. Then he says, "Young master, what are you doing here?" Then Taizan says, "I said I would come after 1 month." Then the divine physician says, "Is your body better than before?" Then Taizan extends his hand in front of the divine physician. Seeing this, the divine physician feels like Taizan is about to hit him. Then Taizan says, "Check my pulse. Aren't you curious to know?" Then the divine physician says, "All right," and starts checking Taizan's pulse. Then he says in great shock, "Young master, how did you restore this?" Hearing his words, Taizan starts smiling. Then he starts thinking, "My body has really changed a lot. I spent the entire month strengthening the meridians that I had previously connected in a hurry. But my soul energy is completely different compared to before. Where my previous soul energy used to be violent and destructive, now it is tightly bound and strong. Controlling it is very difficult. But if I keep restoring it the way I am doing now, then one day I will definitely obtain a perfect physical body." Then he says to the divine physician, "Don't deliberately make the physical injury balm painful. Go and change it right now. Don't torture them because of your anger." Hearing this, the divine physician thinks to himself, "How did you find out about this?" Then he says, "All right, young master, I'll change it." Then Kayan angrily says, "Come with me. I need to talk to you about something important." After that, only his shouting voice is heard. Then Taizan says to Sayan, "Tomorrow we will go to Yan Manor." Then Sayan says, "Why are you suddenly going there?" Then she starts thinking, is he doing this to stop young Mrs. Engagement from breaking? Then Taizan says, "The Zhongli clan has sent me a message asking to meet." After that, a scene from some time later is shown, where Taizan is reading information about the Zhongli clan. Is this all the information that could be found about the Zhongli clan during all this time? Then the divine physician says, "My subordinates had to do a lot just to find this much information. Gathering information about a reputable clan is very difficult." Then Taizan says, "It seems you are quite relaxed these days." Then the divine physician says, "Relaxed? First, I have to take care of those 2 bodyguards. After that, I have to make physical injury balm for them. To do such work, at least 2 people are needed." Then Taizan says, "Then split yourself into 2. Then the divine physician turns his face to the other side and says, "I was just joking. Whenever you say things like this, my past starts scaring me." Hearing this, Taizan starts thinking, does his past mean when he was in the Heavenly Demon Secret Cult? Then the Heavenly Demon Secret Cult is explained, which sends its groups to different places to gather information, where group members work as bodyguards, merchants, or physicians. Then Taizan thinks, it seems he was one of those physicians. When I was the Heavenly Demon in my past life, did he meet me? Then the divine physician says, "Thinking about it, why are you showing so much interest in the Zhongli clan? It seems Yan Manor's daughter is really very beautiful." Hearing this, Taizan thinks, "Yes, it's true that she's very beautiful. She even reminds me of someone." Then the divine physician says, "Should we take more bodyguards for your safety?" Then Taizan says, "You're really a very cowardly man." Then the divine physician says, "No, that's not the case." Then Taizan says, "Then there's no need." Then Taizan says, "Dealing with the Zhongli clan is very easy." Then he thinks, when I was the Heavenly Demon in the past, all the reputable clans lost the war against me, and only the Zhongli clan ran away from the battlefield. I chased them to crush them, but they had already escaped. I heard that after escaping from me, they didn't come out at all for a while. I want to see how high and mighty they act after doing all that. After that, a scene of Yan Manor is shown, where Taesan is sitting in front of a man. This man is the master of Yan Manor and Heron's father. Then he says, "It seems the divine physician really deserves praise. Your body looks much better." Then Taesan says, "It will still take a long time for me to fully recover, but I will recover." Then the Yan Manor master says, "After meeting you after a long time, it feels like you become a completely different person, but this time is different." It seems the Zhongli clan wants to drag things to the very end. They are not accepting your and Heron's engagement, and many people are involved in this plan. They want to use you as an excuse and humiliate you in front of Heron. Their biggest goal is to fight Golden Wall Merchant and us. Oh. Then Taesan says, "I'll try to solve it." Then he thinks, just as expected from the Zhongli clan, they want to use me as an excuse to fight Yan Manor and Golden Wall Merchant and take control of both at once. Those bastards haven't changed at all in using dirty tricks. Then an outside scene is shown, where on one side are Kaiyan and Sayon, and on the other side are the Zhongli clan's elite warriors. Then it is shown that as soon as Taesan opens the door and comes outside, someone appears in front of him. This is the Zhongli clan's youngest son, Zhongli Wang. Then he says, "Are you back, Taesan?" Seeing him, Taesan thinks he must be one of the Zhongli clan people. Then Wang says, "According to what I've heard, your condition is so bad that you can't even perform properly on the bed." Taesan remains silent. Then Wang says, "Didn't you hear me? Are you deaf too? It seems you need to be taught some manners." Then the Zhongli clan warriors are shown gripping their swords and getting ready to fight. Then Wang says, "I know a good place where the two of us can talk properly." Then Taesan says, "Will only the two of us be there? Will no one follow us?" Then Sayon says, "Young master, you can't kill him." Then Wang says, "Just look at how arrogant your bodyguards are. But my warriors will deal with them. A small test is enough for them this time." Then Taesan says, "I like your idea. Anyway, they just finished their training." Then Wang says while taking Taesan with him, "I'm going with this one, so I'll leave them to you." Then the Zhongli clan warriors say, "All right, young master." Then the Zhongli clan warriors draw their swords and say, "Even though he said it's just a small test, we won't show you any mercy. You should blame your bad luck that you ran into us today." Seeing this, the divine physician thinks, this is quite interesting. It seems they're Zhongli clan elites. But I'm not interested in fighting, so I'll watch from afar. After that, a scene of another place is shown, where Wang has brought Taesan. Then Wang says, "What do you think of this place?" Then Taesan says, "You must have worked hard for this. You haven't been here long, yet you found such a good place." Then Wang says, "Ever since I came here, I was waiting for this moment, so putting in effort was necessary. Maybe you don't know this, but I'm very skilled at making people suffer. It seems you're quite surprised by this." Then Taesan says, "Are you doing all this for Yan Heron?" Then Wang says, "Yan Heron is beautiful enough to catch my attention, but that doesn't mean she's a good partner for me. My ambition is far bigger than that. My ambition isn't just to obtain a Yan Manor, but something much greater." Then he attacks Taesan with a knife, but the knife hits a tree instead. Seeing this, Wang is extremely shocked. Just then Taesan appears behind him, places his hand on his head and says, "So let's see how big your ambition really is." Then Wang thinks, weren't his meridians completely broken? No, I don't need to worry. This must be luck. But then something starts happening to him, and he begins screaming loudly, and his screams can be heard outside. Hearing this, Kaiyan thinks, is the young master trying to kill him? Then a Zhongli clan warrior laughs and says, "It seems your young master is in a lot of pain. Are you sure you don't need to go to him?" Then Sayan says, "You don't need to worry about him. All of you attack us together. Then the Zhongli clan warriors say, if you say so, we'll happily play with you properly. Then they all draw their swords and attack Kian together. But Chayan dodges to the side and delivers a powerful kick under one warrior's face. Then 2 more warriors surround him from the front and back, and are about to attack him. Just then, a sword sheath flies in and hits the warrior behind Kian directly in the face. The one who threw the sheath was Sion. Then she says, come play with me too. Then Chayan and Sion grip their swords and get ready to fight, standing side by side, while the Zhongli clan warriors surround them from all sides. Then they think, this time we won't disappoint the young master. We'll show the results of our training. After that, Taizan's scene is shown, where he is using his demonic art to absorb Wang's soul energy. Then he says, so where has all your arrogance gone now? I've only extracted half of it so far. Don't worry, because this time I've decided not to kill anyone. After that, a scene from some time later is shown, where Sion attacks a warrior and moves forward, causing that warrior to faint on the spot. With this, Kian and Sion together defeat all the Zhongli clan warriors. Then Chayan says, I had doubts before, but this really worked. Then Chayan says, I trust the young master. Then Sion says, I never thought I'd be able to defeat Zhongli clan warriors. Who exactly is young master Taizan? Then Chayan says, who knows? But if he hadn't told us about their weaknesses, we would be the ones on the ground instead of them. Then Chayan thinks before coming to Yan Manor, he told us about the Zhongli clan's weaknesses. It was as if he already knew everything about them. At first, I wasn't confident about it, but during the fight I realized I could predict their next move in advance. All this happened because of his information. I'm thankful to him. Seeing him like this, Sion doesn't understand anything. Then a scene of another place is shown where the divine physician is, where Wang and Taizan are coming. Seeing them, the divine physician says, young master, you're here. Then Taizan says, what are you doing here alone? Then the divine physician says, I can't help in their fight, so I was wandering here alone. Then Taizan says, that's not what I meant. I was asking whether they still haven't dealt with that trash. Then the divine physician laughs and says, trash people? They're still Zhongli clan's reputable warriors. Then Taizan says, that's enough. It seems their training is still lacking. After returning, make their training even harder. My people being weak, I can't tolerate that. Hearing this, the divine physician thinks for a moment, then starts smiling. Then he greets and says, all right, young master. After that, a scene from some time later is shown, where everyone is sitting at the dining table. Taizan is calmly eating, and Heron sitting beside him is feeling shy. But then she looks forward and is shocked to see Wang sitting in front of her. Seeing Heron's reaction, her father notices it but doesn't understand anything. He turns to look at Wang, who is sitting nervously and not eating. Seeing this, he starts thinking. Then he lightly taps his chopsticks on the table, which draws Wang's attention to the manor master. Then he says, I heard that today you were talking privately. Hearing this, Heron stands up in shock and says to Taizan, is that true? Are you okay? Then Taizan says, so what if I'm not okay? What will you do then? Hearing this, Heron can't say anything. Then Taizan says, we were talking about some interesting things. Even our souls were involved. Then he says to Wang, am I right? Hearing this, Wang lowers his head and says, yes, you're right. Then Taizan says, hey, what are you doing? Hearing this, Wang gets nervous. Then Taizan releases his energy and says, don't you know basic manners? If you're talking to someone, look them in the eyes. After hearing this, as soon as Wang raises his eyes and looks at Taizan, Taizan looks like a terrifying demon. After seeing his eyes, Wang gets so scared that he defecates in his own pants on the spot. He slams his hand on the table, and a lot of saliva comes out of his mouth. Seeing this, Sion says, I can't believe he pooped in his own pants. Then she starts taking Heron away, while Chaeyeon covers his nose with his hand. Taesun, however, is unaffected and calmly keeps drinking his tea. Then after that, it becomes night. Then the scene of another place is shown, where a man, while slamming his hand on the table, says, "After all, what is all this?" After that, it is told that this man is the patriarch of the Jeongli clan, and his name is Jeongli Kayan. Then the man standing in front of him says, "I am sending my people for investigation." It seems their bodyguards were much stronger than we thought. Then the patriarch, shouting, says, "Even then you are telling me that our 11 warriors were beaten one-sidedly by them." Then it is told about this man whose name is Won Mungon, and he is the chief administrator of the Jeongli clan. Then he says, "We are investigating whether Yan Minor also had a hand behind this." Then the patriarch says, "What about Wong? How is he now?" Then Mungun says, "He is still inside the room. I have heard that he is not coming out of the room, and it seems that some problem has happened in his martial arts, but we are not able to find out. It seems that his memory has been tampered with." Then the patriarch, keeping his hand on his head, says, "He not only pooped, but also wet his pants. He has now completely become mad." Then he starts thinking, is Biosun behind this? No, this cannot happen. After all, a man who is on the verge of dying, how can he do something like this? But still, this is very strange. Then he says, "I am completely sure that someone else is also involved in this matter. I want you, at any cost, to find out who that man is." Then, Mongfak is also fine. The patriarch says and leaves from there. Then he starts thinking, this clan, because of my father, was almost finished at the hands of the heavenly demon. But we made our clan stand on its feet again. That's why I cannot believe that even after becoming such a reputable clan, we have to tolerate this insult. This time I will not let this matter go at all. Whoever dares to insult our clan, we will completely finish him, even if this time the heavenly demon himself comes. But guys, if he even by mistake finds out that he is picking a fight with the heavenly demon, then like his son, he will wet his pants right there. After that, the scene of Yan Manor is shown, where some people come through the door. Then, they start going inside. Seeing this, Kayan, being surprised, starts thinking something. Then he quickly goes straight to Taesun. Then he says, "Young master, the Jeongli clan has sent some more people." Then Taesun says, "Were those people talking anything about taking revenge?" Then Chaeyeon says, "I am not completely sure, but some of them are quite skilled martial masters." Then Taesun says, "Martial masters? How can you say this?" Then Chaeyeon says, "Because he deliberately exposed his presence." Then Taesun says, "You will always get to see people like this, people who show off, and until these people get beaten properly, their arrogance is on the seventh sky. After getting beaten properly once, their brain comes to the right place." Then he says, "Come, let's go." Then Chaeyeon says, "To meet the new warriors who came?" Then Taesun says, "Why will I go there? I have to go somewhere else." Then Chaeyeon says, "Right now?" But the Yan Manor matter has not ended yet. Then Taesun says, "They will remain busy right now because a child has pooped in his pants. You don't need to worry about them. You follow me." Then Chan also says, "Okay, young master." And then Taesun says, "Finally now this game is becoming a little interesting." Then after that it is shown, Taesun is standing in front of the blood sect. Then Chaeyeon says, "Young master, are you going to use the blood sect?" Then Taesun says, "It seems you are not completely a fool." Then Chaeyeon says, "In front of everyone, blood sect is Donggo's strongest unorthodox faction. But from behind they used to give money to the Jeongli clan. I can't believe they will obey your words." Then Taesun says, "Those people don't want to give money to Jeongli clan by their own will. Rather, they have no other way except doing that." Then Chaeyeon says, "Maybe because they're not that much powerful. This is a normal thing in Murim." Then Taesun says, "It's not only that they are not that powerful. Rather, they are weak from inside. They feel like there is no meaning of struggling. Do you know, in the end, what happens with these people? Hearing his words, Kion also starts looking toward him. In the end, they lose all their things. After hearing his words, Kion starts remembering his past, wherein his whole family's house's fire was burning, where Kion was small and shouting, "Father, father." There his father, holding Kion, says to the servant, "As much as possible take Kion far away from here." Then that servant starts taking Kion from there. Then his father says, "I hope in our family at least you will remain alive." And there, Kion, crying, was just shouting, "Father, father." Then right then, from behind someone attacks his father. Then the man who is behind says, "It seems one escaped secretly from here." Then Kion's father, kneeling down in front of his feet, says, "Thunderblood Phoenix, my family is innocent. Please leave my child." Then holding his feet, he says, "I beg you, please leave my child." Then Thunderblood Phoenix says, "One day maybe he will come to me to take revenge for his father's death. That day I will not be able to fulfill your request." Then he cuts Kion's father's throat. Then after that he leaves from there, which Kion was watching. But he could not do anything except shouting his father's name. And Kion was thinking all this in present time. And Taesan was saying, "If we are very weak, then being weak is a sin." Then Kion says, "If being weak is a sin, then what should weak people do?" Hearing his words, Taesan starts smiling. Then opening the door of Blood Sect, he says, "If they are weak, then I will give them strength." Hearing his words, Kion silently starts looking at Taesan. Then as soon as those people go inside, chaos happens. But in a little while they beat all of them and make them calm. Then it is told, this is Blood Sect's chief, Jo Yugong. Then as soon as Taesan comes near him, all people get scared. Then their chief, coughing blood, says, "Please leave us. A very big mistake happened by us. Whatever you will say, we will do that." And all of them kneel in front of Taesan. Then Taesan says, "I will teach you people something interesting. Let's see how useful you can be," which their chief cannot understand. Then Taesan says, "But in exchange, from today, you have to stop giving money to Zhongli clan. Otherwise I will finish all of you people." Except not obeying, that chief had no other choice. Then after some days, Zhongra clan's scene is shown, where Zhongren's patriarch angrily says, "Did Blood Sect refuse to give money?" Then Administrator Manhwa says, "Yes, they never did like this before." Then Patriarch shouting says, "The people who went to collect from them, did they accept their refusal so easily?" Then Manhwa says, "At that time, things were not looking right. It was looking like they were very confident." Then Patriarch says, "They must have asked some half-incomplete martial art for help." Then Manhwa says, "Should we send the warrior corps to deal with them?" Then Patriarch says, "Send the warrior corps, and make sure that they come to know who is the real master of Blood Sect. Right now, where are Zhongli Sungrak and warrior corps?" Then Manhwa says, "Third young master made dirt in the training ground. They are cleaning it. I will send them the order right now." Then Patriarch says, "I can't believe it. In our clan, someone has made the floor dirty. At such time we don't have to show ourselves weak, rather crush the opponent." Then after that Taesan's scene is shown where Kion says, "Young master, we stopped them from giving money to Zhongli clan. So Zhongli clan will surely do something, and besides this we know about their weakness." Then Taesan says, "You are thinking too much. Right now, their money is stopped. So they don't have that much time that they think about us. They are staggering right now." Then Kion says, "But still, they are a reputable clan. If their warrior corps comes and attacks, will the unorthodox faction be able to handle it?" Then Taesan says, "That's why we are going to someone who can handle them." Then when Kion turns and looks to the side, they had come to Donggu's bodyguard agency. Seeing it, Kion doesn't understand anything. Then when they start going inside, a guard asks, Can I know for what you came here? Then Taezan says, we have to meet the owner here. Then that guard says, owner? But he's not a man whom anyone can meet. Then Taezan comes near him and says, do I look like a nobody to you? Then while going inside, he says to Chayan, follow me. Then Chayan apologizes to him and asks him to show the way. Then after that guard brings them to a place. Then that guard says, please wait here a little. Till then I will ask the owner and come. Can you tell who are you who is requesting to meet him? Hearing his words, Taezan starts remembering something. Seeing him like this, that guard keeps staring at Taezan angrily. Then that guard says, if you do like this, then you can't meet him. Then Taezan says, I remembered. Go and tell him I have something which I want to send to Mystical Moon. Hearing this, that guard's face gets made, but still he leaves from there. Then after that Taeyan asks Taezan, what is this Mystical Moon? Then an old man comes running there and sitting on his knees in front of Taesan says, I am Donggu Bodyguard Agency's owner. I pay you respect. Please come inside with me. Then Taezan smiles and starts going. And there Chayan, looking at Taezan, starts thinking, what is going on? Then after some time scene is shown where Taezan was sitting on the throne and in front of him was the Bodyguard Agency's owner. Then Taezan says, in current time, how many people can you gather? Then that owner says, we have 16 bodyguards and 6 head bodyguards. Then Taezan says, go, tell all of them to get ready and gather the head bodyguards in one place. I want to talk to them. Then after that owner says, as you say. Then he leaves from there. Then after some time scene is shown, where Taezan was telling all of them about Zhongri clan's weakness. Seeing it, Chan starts thinking, young master, what is he thinking to do when these bodyguards are weaker than Zhongli clan's warriors? Then Taezan says, I told you the weakness. Now you people have to help the unorthodox faction in the fight against Zhongli clan. Then those bodyguards also say, okay, young master. Then Taezan says, we will move forward together with all these. Then Chayan says, are we now going to the unorthodox group? Then Taezan says, but only they will fight. Then after that, after some time scene is shown, where Taezan says to Chayan, can you win in a fight against the agency owner? Then Chayan says, after fighting with him only I will know. But it seems we are on the same level. Then Taezan says, then can you win against the head bodyguard? Then Chayan says, I am more skilled than them. Then Taezan says, you are wrong. You are still very far from winning the fight against those head bodyguards. Even the agency owner is much more powerful than you. You can't judge just by looking at someone. Then Taezan says in his mind, because all those people are members of the Heavenly Demon's secret cult. From Divine Physician's investigation, I found out some places of cult members. I found out that here cult members are, who are doing bodyguard work. No matter. They don't know who I am. When they have heard about Mystical Moon, then they have no other choice except obeying my order. Then Taezan says, seeing as a bodyguard agency, they don't look powerful, but they are hiding their real power. Then Chayan says, when did you make connection with the bodyguard agency? This was really very surprising. Then Taesan says, this is such a thing which children don't know about. Hearing his words, Chayan thinks, but I am older than you. Then Taezan says, let's go. Time has come to train yourself in real fight. Then Chayan says, you said that we will not fight now. Then Taezan says, we will focus on their leader. Then after that blood sex scene is shown, where blood sex people were, and in front of them was Zhongli clan's elder Zhongli Sungrak. Their blood sex chief was saying that from now, they will not give money to Zhongli clan. Then that elder says, did you people go crazy? Do you people really think that you people can ever defeat us? Then their chief says, here no one is crazy. We at least are trying to keep our sanity. Then Sungrak says, "What do you mean by saying?" Then their chief says, "Better than wetting the floor, we prefer getting beaten by you." Hearing his words, Sungrak starts thinking, the one who beat Wang, is it him behind this? Then right then Sungrak feels some strange thing. Then he starts thinking, what was this? This was not some ordinary energy. Was this energy coming from outside? Then Sungrak says to his man, "I am leaving them on you, people. That man, keep him alive. I want to ask him questions." Then after that, Sungrak leaves from there. Then he starts thinking, this is strange. I have fought countless fights, but I have never felt something like this before. Like my senses are screaming and screaming, telling me that right now I am in very big danger. Then Taizan says, "Your senses are very sharp." Hearing this, Sungrak looks upward. Then Taizan, coming down and coming near him, says, "You look a little powerful. I thought Zhongli clan is weak, but I did not think that they will have a powerful elder like you." Then Sungrak says, "You are Baptiza, right? So behind all this your hand is." Then Taizan says, "Why do you want to know all this? Anyway, after a little while, none of this will have any meaning." Then Sungrak says, "As a child, you are very arrogant. When your hand or maybe your leg also is cut, then your mind will come to place." Then right then Chaeyon, coming forward, says, "Who knows? Maybe you won't even get a chance to fight young Master Taizan." Seeing Chaeyon, Sungrak starts thinking, the dangerous energy I sensed, was it coming out of him? But he doesn't look that powerful, and it cannot be that dangerous energy is coming from him. Then after that, Sungrak, taking out his sword, says, "We will know about the truth soon." Then Chaeyon also starts taking out his sword. Then Taizan says, "He is stronger than you thought. What do you think? For how long can you stand in front of him?" Then Chaeyon says, "To tell truth, from his energy my body has become a little numb. I did not think that a reputable clan's elder will be so powerful. Still, while struggling, I will give my best." Then Taizan, smiling, says, "I liked your mindset. The best way to improve is fight someone who is stronger than you." Then that elder Sungrak says, "You two are talking too much as people who are going to die." Then after that, that elder attacks Chaeyon, which Chaeyon blocked. Seeing that elder also becomes surprised. Then after that, both of them step back. Then Sungrak says, "This is not that bad." Then again attacking Chaeyon, he says, "So come, let's see, can you block this too?" Which attack Chaeyon does block. But because of its force, Chaeyon got pushed back, and his hand started trembling. Then Taizan starts thinking, I can see his attack. Then Sungrak says, "You are nothing except a mere bodyguard." Then he attacks Chaeyon, which attack Chaeyon again blocks. But this time his sword got a little cracked. Seeing that, Xion starts thinking, his attacks are very powerful. My sword is not able to handle it. Then after that, Sungrak starts attacking Chaeyon continuously. While blocking, Chaeyon starts thinking, if even one of his attacks hits me, then maybe I can die. Then after that, Sungrak, forming some kind of attack in his hand, says, "Now taste its fun." Then he attacks Jion, and this attack was sudden, so Jion doesn't even get a chance to avoid it. Because of this attack, blood starts coming out from Jion's mouth, and he gets thrown back while dragging. But then that elder, looking to the front, becomes shocked because Xion endured this attack. Then Taizan says, "By doing that hard training, some benefit was seen." Seeing him, Sungrak starts thinking, is there someone so capable in Zhongli clan who can block my attack? Then Sungrak says, "I acknowledge you. Your skill is getting wasted by working alone in the merchant guild. How will it be? You join Zhongli clan. I will myself teach you master art. You are much more talented than cleaning that young master's dirt." Then Chan says, "Who said that I am cleaning his dirt?" Hearing his words, Sungrak becomes shocked. Then Chaeyon says, Your sword technique cannot even be compared with young Master Taesan's sword technique. Then after that, Kyan, attacking Sungrak, says, I can see all your attacks. Then Sungrak says, you arrogant bastard. Then Cheyenne reaches very near Sungrak and attacks him, and Sungrak also attacks Kyan. But because of Sungrak's attack, Kyan's sword breaks, because of which Sungrak's attack hits Kyan's shoulder. From that attack, Kyan gets very badly injured, and after kneeling he sits on the ground. Seeing it, Sungrak starts thinking, I attacked his throat, but my attack hit his shoulder. Can he really see from where my sword is coming? It seems the things he said were not lies. Then Sungrak says, now time has come to finish this. Then Cheyenne says, I will not let this happen. Then Taesan says, this much is enough. Hearing this, Cheyenne says, but I still can fight. Then Taesan says, it is possible you may not be able to use that hand again, so accept defeat. Then after that, Taesan comes near Cheyenne and says, still, it was not that bad. Hearing this, Cheyenne becomes very surprised. Then Taesan says, keep your eyes open and watch it carefully. Then after that, Cheyenne also starts watching carefully. Then Sungrak says, I heard that you were in the mouth of death. Still, you are daring to face my sword. Then Taesan says, what? A sword? To fight someone like you, I don't need to use a sword. Then Sungrak says, arrogant child, first I will cut your... Then Taesan says, if you are ready for it, then you can do that. Then Sungrak, looking at Taesan, starts thinking, to me, nothing special about him is looking. So why is he so arrogant and confident? It can be that he is just bluff. I don't need to worry about him. Then he attacks Taesan, thinking, I am sure he will not be able to stop this attack at all. Arrogant child, I will give you a good death. Then it is shown Taesan dodges that attack. Seeing this, Sungrak becomes very surprised. Then Taesan quickly comes to his side. Seeing this, Sungrak thinks, when did he come to my side? Then Taesan does a tremendous attack on Sungrak's jaw. Then he says, I said, right, I don't need a sword. Because of that attack, Sungrak collapses there. Then he falls on the ground, and seeing the passion in his closed eyes, starts thinking, I can't believe I lost so easily. Then how can this be? And with this, Sungrak's work gets finished here. And Shion, looking at Taesan, starts thinking, this was amazing. How can a man's movement be so amazing? I also want to become powerful like him. Maybe one day I will become as powerful as him. Then after some time, scene is shown where they have come to Yan Manor and Divine Physician. Looking at Kyan, says, seeing your condition, if I was not here, then your hand would have to be cut. You know that, right? Hearing this, Kyan also cannot say anything. Then Divine Physician happily says, you remember this. Then Cheyenne, lowering his head, says, I will never forget this favor. Hearing his words, Divine Physician also becomes happy. Then Cheyenne says, I also, for his treatment, thank you from my heart. Then Divine Physician says, many people are there who forget others' kindness. I hope you will not forget my favor. Then after that, both again bow their heads and say thanks. Then, after that, Divine Physician turning, says, besides this, young Master Taesan, you must have heard about that big offer which I got. They are giving me many herbs and money. Hearing this, Taesan starts staring at Divine Physician, because of which Divine Physician also gets scared. Then Taesan says, I did not stop you. You can go. Then Divine Physician says, where will I go? Then Taesan says, you only said that you got an offer from Zhang clan. Then Divine Physician says, when did I say that I will join them? I only want to serve only you. Then Taesan says, enough. Did you deal with the rest? The people who are not dead? Then Cheyenne says, yes, Donghua's bodyguard agency dealt with all of them. I think now for Zhongli clan it is difficult to do anything. Then Taizan says, no. Now when things have become so messed up, they will come out with their full power. But for now, this is not important, which Kayan and Sion cannot understand. Then Taizan says, they don't have the courage to do such a bold move. That means from behind someone is supporting them. We have to find out about those people, otherwise soon we will get stuck in trouble. Then Taizan says, did you get that which I told to find? Then Divine Physician says, yes, my subordinate found it. Then Taizan says, okay, take me to him. I am also curious to see who is controlling Zhongli clan. Then after that, Zhongli clan's scene is shown, where a woman had come. Then as soon as that woman comes, Administrator Meng Wang says, someone came from White Flower quotation house. Then Patriarch says, let her come inside. Then after that, as soon as that woman comes inside, Patriarch becomes very surprised seeing her. Madam, welcome. I was waiting for you. Then after that, that woman says, I heard your one elder was killed last night. Then Patriarch says yes. Then that woman says, was he killed by the Merchant Guild's son? Then Patriarch says, around him, very skilled people are. Golden Heavenly Alliance doesn't need to worry about this. This time I will crush them. Then that woman says, no, White Flower Quotation House will deal with back Taizan. Zhongli clan's war corps will help in this. He is going to come to our quotation house soon. We have spread a rumor which will pull him to us. Then Patriarch says, what kind of rumor? Then that woman says, yes, this rumor that we are related to Golden Heavenly Alliance. Then after that, that woman is shown who was looking very beautiful. Then she says, this time Big Taizan's escaping from us is impossible. Then after that, next day's scene is shown, where Taizan says, if you want to do like this, then don't follow me. Then Divine Physician says, should we leave him? Then Chayan is shown, very motivated, saying, no, I can do this. And seeing him, Divine Physician starts thinking, why is he looking so motivated? Then Divine Physician says, if he stays like this, we will get caught even before fight, so we use poison on him. This is such a poison which for some time gives you rest and makes your face muscles numb. But it also has a side effect. Then Taizan says, I am busy. Let's leave him here. Then Chayan says, no, I can do this. I'm ready for this. Then Divine Physician, taking out a big needle, says, then, okay, just in this you will have a little pain. Then Divine Physician puts that poison on Chayan, because of which Chayan's screams come out, and from this Taizan also gets a little angry on Divine Physician. Then Chayan is shown who becomes an idiot. Seeing it, Chayan starts thinking, is this its side effect? Then after that, White Flower Quotation House's scene is shown, where Taizan came with his people. Seeing it, Chayan says to Divine Physician, the place we had to go was that quotation house. Then Divine Physician says, by seeing it, doesn't it look like an ordinary quotation house? Which Chayan cannot understand. This quotation house is made by Golden Heavenly Alliance. Then Chayan says, Golden Heavenly Alliance? Then Chayan says, so can't they make a quotation house? Then Divine Physician says, they were quiet. Then suddenly they started expanding their business, and they opened their business around Golden Wall Merchant Guild. Then he says, those guards who look like common people are very skilled warriors. They are so powerful that most merchant guilds will not have such people. Which Chayan is silently listening. Then Divine Physician further says, this rumor that is spreading that this place is related to Golden Heavenly Alliance, it seems they are intentionally trying to lure someone. That means they are making a plan to do something. Then Chayan says, doesn't this mean that we should not come to this place? Why will we knowingly send young Master Taizan into enemy's trap? Then after that, it is shown they come inside. Then there a woman comes and says, welcome, young master. We were thinking when Donga's strongest knight, king will come to meet us. Then divine physician says, it seems rumor has spread too much. Then coming near that woman, he says, so you serve young Master Taizan very well. Then Taizan, looking to the front, becomes surprised because their two guards had very much energy coming out. Seeing it, Taizan starts thinking, they are not that bad. They are as strong as a reputable clan's warrior squad. Golden Heavenly Alliance is not so capable that they can keep so skilled people. That means behind them there is a good support. So let's see what they are trying to do. Then that woman says, young master, please come this side. We prepared a separate room for you. Then behind her, divine physician also starts going. Then Sion stops him and taking him near her says, we will wait for young master outside the room. Then after that, after some time, scene is shown where divine physician was a little angry and Sion was staring at Sion because poison's effect started ending, because of which its side effects started. Then Sion says, warrior Sion, are you okay? If you are tired, you can rest a little. And Sion is shown because of side effect. Sion looks very beautiful to him, and he feels like she is seducing him, because of which Sion, shouting, says, I am fine, says, I am fine. Then Sion asks, is his health not bad? But to Sion looks seductive. So he bangs his head on the wall and says, I am fine, so don't ask me. And Sion, seeing him, starts thinking, why is he doing such crazy type action? And divine physician, seeing this, is smiling. And Jian is abusing divine physician in his mind. Then there a lot of sound starts coming. When they turn and look, their jungle clan's administrator, Manhwa, was there. Then he says, it seems here only his pet dogs are. Then it is shown with Manhwa jungle clan's warrior corps also were. Then divine physician says, Yang clan's warriors, you people also are mixed with them. Then Manhwa says, thinking that you will come to know so quickly. This reason is enough that you have to die here today. Then he orders his warrior corps to kill them. Then Cheyenne, also attacking, says, I was not able to stop myself. This is a very good thing. You people came here. Then after that he very fast kills two warriors and passes from them, and those two warriors get finished there. Then Cyan, also taking out her sword, says, I don't know what you are talking about, but now we should focus on fight. Then on Cyan also two younger clans warriors attack, and Cyan also very easily kills those two warriors. Then wiping their blood, she says, this has now started. Then, after that, Taeson's scene is shown, where that woman says, why are you standing, young master? Please, come and sit here. Then Taeson says, it seems outside there is a little noise. This sound is like outside fight is happening. Then that woman says, but I am not hearing anything. Then she starts thinking, anyway, today you are going to die, foolish young master. It seems he doesn't know what is happening here. I am feeling very sad to lose her because she is very beautiful. Then, Tazar starts smiling. Then he says, do you want that I pull your eyes out? Which words that woman cannot understand. Then Taeson says, do I look like a caught prey? Then that woman says, what are you talking about? Then Taeson says, you must be thinking I came here without knowing anything. Then he goes near the wall and stops. Then he puts his hand across the wall's side, and on that side of the wall, someone was hidden, who because of Taeson hitting, starts screaming and shouting loudly. Then Taeson, staring at him, says, don't dare to look at me with such eyes, because of which that woman also gets very scared. Then after that, Seon is shown, who was killing those warriors, and with her Kayan also was killing all those warriors. Then suddenly one warrior attacks Kayan from behind, from which attack Kayan barely escapes. Then from behind Cyan comes and saves him from falling. Then and after that, she pushes Kayan to the front. Because of that, as soon as Kayan goes near those people, he finishes those warriors, and Cyan was also helping him properly. Then, after a little while, scene is shown where all those warriors were finished, and Cyan and Kyan were standing side by side, and they were also very tired. Then their Jonggik clan's administrator comes and says, "Useless people." Then, after that, he takes out a dagger from inside his clothes and says, "This fight has gone a little too far." Seeing it, Cheyenne starts thinking, "A dagger? Does he want to attack us from far?" Then it is shown Manhwa comes very fast near them, on whom Kyan and Cyan attack, but he bends and avoids their attack. Seeing this, Kyan and Cyan get nervous. Then Manhwa says, "This is a good opening." Then Manhwa starts attacking them continuously. They try to block, but still cuts come on their faces. Then both of them jump back and think, "He is very skilled. We both can't handle him." Then Manhwa says, "You have a little skill, but you both are not that capable that you can kill Elder Shugengrak. You people are not that skilled. Your movement is easy to see. But for Zhongli clan, I will have to finish you people here." But then from behind a blast happens. Seeing it, Cyan and Cheyenne get very shocked. Because from the place where the blast happened, 2 people's bodies get thrown, and breaking the wall there, Taizan comes out from there. Seeing him, Manhwa says, "You must be back, Taizan. I thought you were a dying man with broken meridians. Were you hiding your real strength?" Then Taizan says, "When did I do that? You people yourselves assumed me weak." Then Manhwa says, "I wanted to leave your life, but now it seems I changed my mind." Then after that he takes out many daggers from his clothes. Then after that Manhwa throws all those daggers toward Taizan. But Taizan very easily dodges all those daggers, and he goes straight and reaches that place where Divine Physician was hidden. Seeing this, Divine Physician gets very scared, and their Manhwa also, seeing his attack not hitting, becomes very shocked. Then taking out more daggers from his clothes, he says, "It seems you are somewhat skilled." Then Taizan very fast comes near Manhwa. Then Taizan says, "I don't think you will answer my questions. So come, first let's have some fun." And seeing Taizan so fast, Manhwa also, very shocked, thinks, "When did he come so close to me?" Then Taizan starts using his demonic art on him, because of which Manhwa starts screaming loudly. Then Divine Physician is shown who, seeing it, was laughing. Then Cheyenne says, "I am really surprised that you survived. I am happy that you are safe." Then Divine Physician says, "Of course, if something happens to me then who will treat you people?" Then he says to Taizan, "Young master, come this way, and now let's finish this." Then Taizan also, leaving Manhwa, says, "Okay." Then after that, they leave from there. Then after a little while scene is shown, where they have come to White Flower, quotation houses, top floor. Then Divine Physician says, "This is this building's top floor." Then Cyan says, "Whom are we searching?" Then Divine Physician says, "The one who is behind all these incidents." Then after that they go inside, and inside the same woman of White Flower quotation house is there who had gone to meet Zhongli clan's patriarch. In my thought, maybe this is the owner, who was sitting on her knees, and in front of her Taizan was standing. Then he says, "Are you the one behind all this? Don't talk nonsense. Say that White Flower quotation house has nothing to do with this." Then that owner says, "I can't do that. My life is a precious treasure for me." Then Taizan says, "Still, why do you look so calm?" Then that owner says, "Because I am confident. Instead of dying, alive I am more useful." Then Taizan says, "Is that so? First I have to ask you some questions. Behind all this golden heavenly alliance is not. Who is actually behind all this?" Then that owner says, "I don't know who is actually behind all this. I don't know his real identity. He keeps himself hidden. But I know he sends orders through Golden Heavenly Alliance, and the one who gives us orders is Bong Mo, okay?" Hearing this, Divine Physician, very shocked, says, "What, Bong Mu okay?" Are you talking about the black lunar swordsman? Then Taesun says, is he very famous? Divine Physician says, yes, he is a very skilled martial master who killed the Blood Flame demonic general, who at that time was one of the top 100 martial masters, but he is dead. Even though I did not see him dying, but many people saw him dying. Then Taesun says, Hei is saying that he is dead. Then owner says, no, Bong is still alive. Then Taesun says, can you swear on your soul that this is true? Then that owner says, yes, I swear this is true. Then Taesun says, okay, from now, I am leaving this place on you. You collect information about Golden Heavenly Alliance, and Wangmu okay, and send me. Then that owner says, but I will not be able to pull out important information about them. Then Taesun says, why are you doing drama like this? You said you are not on their side. Golden Heavenly Alliance hired you, right? Then that owner says, what do you mean? Then Taesun says, you are from Hao faction. Why? I am right? Hearing this, that owner becomes very shocked. Then Taesun says, I can tell just by seeing your moves. You, people have a specific trait. But even being from Hao faction, your acting is very useless. I trust you. You will work well. Then Divine Physician says, will you let her go like this? Then Taesun says, if she runs from here, then assume that her luck left her. Then Taizar says to the owner, I know where Shadow Stride Manual is. Hearing this, that owner becomes very shocked and starts thinking, Shadow Stride Manual is a martial art of Hao faction, which was lost many years ago, and about it only Hao faction people know. So how does he know about it? Then after that owner, bowing her head, says, I will happily obey your order. Young Master Taesun, I will not disappoint you at all. Then after that we are shown another places scene where a man is shown, and this is Bong Mook, Black Lunar Swordsman, and in front of him a man is there who says, what happened? Then Bong Mook says, the situation there is not looking right. Then that man says, there? Then Bong Mu okay says, yes, Zhongli Clan and White Flower Quotation House, who were helping Golden Heavenly Alliance, they overnight were defeated by some unknown group. Then that long white-haired one says, so why did you not find out his real identity? Then Wang Mu okay says, situation has become unfavorable. Then near him a small boy is lying who says, brother, you can't even control a simple thing properly, so how will you maintain your position as an heir? Then another Mussulman says, we should not take that place lightly. That will become the foundation of our plan. Then that long white-haired one says, we waited for centuries for this plan. Even a small mistake can ruin our plan. Very soon we have to come in front of the world. Then after that Donggu bodyguard agency scene is shown, where Divine Physician and the agency owner are sitting face to face. Then agency owner says, don't you know that we are breaking the rule of meeting like this? Then Divine Physician says, because we are in a special situation. Then agency owner says, what special situation? Are you talking about mystical heaven enchantment? Anyway, we don't know how much time it will take for a new cult leader to be made. Then Divine Physician, smiling, says, if we are talking about a new cult leader, then we should already be prepared. Then agency owner says, what do you mean? Then Divine Physician says, what do you think about young Master Bayuk Taesun? Then agency owner says, to tell truth, he used the secret code which only high-ranking executives of the cult can use. But I don't know any executive who is so young. Do you know who he is? Then Divine Physician says, I think he can be the hidden son of the dead cult leader. Hearing this, agency owner becomes so shocked that the tea he drank comes out of his mouth. Then next moment shouting he says, are you really serious? Then Divine Physician says, be quiet, otherwise someone will hear it. Then after that agency owner becomes quiet. Then Divine Physician says, earlier than we thought, new cult leader can come in front. Then he thinks, I said him this, but I am not really sure who he is, and he doesn't talk much. And it is shown So here is making Taizan wear clothes. Then she says, "Young master, did you hear? He is coming here." Then Taizan says, "About whom are you talking?" Then So says, "World-famous needle, eccentric physician." Hearing this, divine physician for a moment says, "What? Needle eccentric physician?" Then next moment, very shocked, he says, "Is needle eccentric physician really coming here?" Then So says, "It seems Manor Master tried to find all physicians. By your coming, young master's condition became quite good. But if needle eccentric also comes here, young master will get well very quickly." Then divine physician says, "Do you think I can't heal him?" Then So says, "No, you are incredible. But I heard needle eccentric can fix everything with only one needle." Then divine physician says, "No, this is not possible." Then So says, "No, this rumor is true. With only one needle he can fix broken meridians." Then Taizan says, "No." Then both look at Taizan. Then Taizan says, "Needle eccentric is not famous because of medical technique." Then Taizan says, "He can kill people with one needle. Because of this, he became famous instantly. Do you know he finished a whole sect with only his needle?" Then So says, "No, I never heard like this about him. Why will a physician kill people?" Then Taizan says, "It seems you are still small. That's why you trust unknown people easily." Then So says, "No, I am not small. I have grown up." Then after that, we are shown the market scene where Danio is shown buying vegetables. Then she hears people shouting at one place. Then she goes there and sees a man angrily saying, "I saw. You took it out as soon as you started. How did you dare to trick me?" And this is none other than needle eccentric physician, and he is gambling. Then the man in front angrily says, "What nonsense are you saying? If you guessed wrong, that is your fault. I have been running this business for 50 years, so why will I use such dirty tricks?" Hearing this, needle eccentric cannot say anything. Then that gambling man starts taking the items that are put in needle eccentric's bet. Then needle eccentric says, "I want to put a bet. If a coin comes out from these bowls, then I will give you one of my eyes." Then holding that gambling man's hand, he says, "But if from these bowls no coin comes out from any, then you will give me your hand." Hearing this, that gambling man gets nervous. Then needle eccentric says, "So tell, which hand do you want to put in the bet?" Hearing this, people there start talking among themselves. "Yes, he is right. We never saw coin coming out from the bowl that he guessed. We never won his game." Then needle eccentric says, "You are really a scammer. Remove this right now." Then that gambling man says, "Why will I put such a ridiculous bet?" Then needle eccentric says, "It doesn't matter whether you use dirty tricks or not." Then that gambling man says, "Aren't you worried about your eyes?" But then needle eccentric's attention goes toward Danio. Seeing her, needle eccentric becomes very shocked, because her body constitution is of pure physical form. Seeing this, needle eccentric starts looking at her carefully. Then Danio starts leaving from there. Seeing this, needle eccentric throws a pouch on the gambling man's face, and while leaving says, "I am leaving you for today. Today consider yourself lucky." And following Danio, happily he starts thinking, "A very long time has passed since I found something interesting like this." Then it is shown, while following her, he comes to Golden Wall Merchant's Manor. Then he thinks, "I saw her coming here. But this is not a place where I should stay for now." Then after that he opens the door and starts going inside. Then it is shown in front of him is Manor's chief steward Mojane. "Welcome here. Serving an important guest like you is an honor for us." Then needle eccentric says, "Just before my coming, a woman came here." Then Mojane says, "Oh, you are talking about Diane. She is young master's maid." Then needle eccentric says, "Is she really a maid?" Then Mojane says, "Yes. Like you, Divine Physician also was very impressed by her and wanted her as his disciple. But young master refused. Then Needle Eccentric says, "How did you dare to compare someone like him with me? No one can refuse my offer." Then it is shown, in front of Taesan and Divine Physician, Needle Eccentric is sitting, and Divine Physician is staring at Needle Eccentric. And Needle Eccentric is thinking, "So this is Bayuk Taesan. And I think beside him is Divine Physician. But he looks very young. Does he use some special elixir?" Then Taesan says, "Why is everyone doing the same thing? You said you are interested in my one maid." Then Needle Eccentric angrily says, "Yes, she is very talented. Her talent is being wasted at this place. If she trains under me for 10 years, then she can become a very good physician and martial artist who will rule the world." Then Taesan says, "What martial art? But you don't look that good. Are you good in your medical technique?" Then Needle Eccentric angrily says, "Small child, what did you just say?" Then suddenly something comes very fast toward Needle Eccentric. Seeing it, Needle Eccentric gets very nervous and closes his eyes. Then when he opens his eyes and looks forward, it was Taesan's hand, which looked like it was coming very fast. And Taesan, keeping his hand in front of Needle Eccentric, says, "Check my pulse. Let's see how good you are in your medical technique." And guys, I tell you, Needle Eccentric is one of the world's top 5 position. Then Taesan says, "Don't just sit like this. Check my pulse." Then Needle Eccentric starts checking his pulse, and after checking it, he becomes very shocked. Then he says, "Your body is completely garbage." Then Taesan says, "How much time will it take you to fix me?" Then Needle Eccentric says, "Your core meridians will have to be connected. If I do this, then it will happen only in a few years." Hearing his words, Taesan says to the Divine Physician, "I think your skill is better than this." Hearing this, Needle Eccentric angrily says, "What nonsense is this?" Then Taesan says, "You are saying you will fix me in only a few years. Neither is your martial art good, nor is your medical technique. Now what will you show me next?" Needle Eccentric angrily says, "Fine, make a bet with me. You can make any one of your men fight against me and see whether my martial art is really weak or not. If I win, then I will take all of your image with me." Then Taesan says, "And if I win?" Then Needle Eccentric says, "I stake myself. I am very valuable. Even Morim aliens and Black L are ready to fight and die to take me under them." Then Taesan says, "I want you to stake your body and soul too." Then Needle Eccentric says, "Do you want absolute loyalty from me? Fine, I am ready for it." Then, after some time, the training ground scene is shown. Then Needle Eccentric says, "Who will fight me?" Then Taesan says, "I will fight." Then Needle Eccentric says, "Really, you will fight? Do you want to lose?" Then Taesan says, "Then why don't you see it yourself?" Then Needle Eccentric looks at Taesan and starts thinking, according to his pulse, he shouldn't even be alive till now. It seems he can even walk in this condition. Then Needle Eccentric says, "Are you giving up your life?" Then Taesan says, "How can you think like that while being a physician? Are you afraid to attack me?" Then Needle Eccentric angrily says, "Fine, even if you die, don't blame me." Then Taesan also says, "Fine, you can attack my heart too." After that, Needle Eccentric puts his hand inside his clothes and, taking needles out from a box, starts thinking, "I have seen many arrogant people like this. He is trying to make me angry, but I will not lower my guard." After that, he throws 3 needles at Taesan to distract him. After that, he infuses his inner energy into the needle. Then he throws his needle at Taesan's vital point. And this was his 6 needle art. But Taesan very easily dodges all those needles. Seeing this, Needle Eccentric becomes very shocked and thinks, how can this happen? How can he dodge all 6 needles? Then Taesan says, "Do you only have this much tricks?" As Needle Eccentric is about to take out another needle from his box, Tayson says, "It wasn't that bad, but now it ends here." Then Needle Eccentric says, "How can you say this? The fight hasn't even ended." Then Tayson disappears from his place, and very fast he comes near Needle Eccentric, and with one hand he gives Needle Eccentric only a little push. And with only that small push of Tayson's hand, Needle Eccentric bounces on the ground and crashes into the wall. He even throws his own needle back onto him. After that, Needle Eccentric stands up and says, "I don't know which trick you used, but this time I will not fail at all." Then Tayson says, "Looks like you will accept your defeat only after dying." Then Tayson disappears again. Seeing this, Needle Eccentric, shocked, thinks, "How can he disappear from in front of my eyes while I am focusing by putting inner energy into my eyes?" Then Tayson comes behind him. Then he says, "Just as I thought, you are weak in martial arts." Then he does a light attack on his head, because of which he becomes unconscious right there. When he opens his eyes, in front of him is the divine physician, who says, "You had an injury on your head, due to which you became unconscious." And there Needle Eccentric is thinking, "Did I lose to that kid?" And there the divine physician is saying, "From now on, you will work for the young master. I hope we will work well together." Hearing this, Needle Eccentric starts yelling at him and starts arguing with him. Then after that, the next day's scene is shown, where Tayson was standing in front of the Golden Wall Merchant Guild leader and his eldest brother, Buck Taisu. He says, "You look much better than before." It seems both the divine physician and Needle Eccentric are worthy of their names. I heard Needle Eccentric also wants to work with you. Anyway, I needed help from you, so I called you here. We received news from Yan Manor. They are saying that the River Martial Alliance, representing Hubei, is gathering rising martial artists. Lady Yan has also received an invitation to come there. Yuan. But there Tayson was not understanding anything here. Then his elder brother explains to him and says, "It may seem strange for a merchant guild to go there, but Needle Eccentric was also requested to go there, and Needle Eccentric accepted their request even before coming here and got ready to go there." Then Tayson says, "So do you want me to go with him?" Then his elder brother Taisu says, "Can you do that?" Then Tayson says yes and says, "Actually, I also had to train him a little." Then Taisu says, "River Martial Alliance is Hoba's strongest organization. Because we are in Hobe, we should not let this chance go." And there Tayson is thinking, River Martial Alliance. I hope I will get good opponents there for training. After that, White Flower Courtesan House is shown, which also has Jehu Fractions branch, where the owner or Say branch leader says, "Golden Heavenly Alliance has still not reacted." Then a girl says, "It seems they are shocked by Golden Wall Merchant Guild's ability. They did not think they could be so strong." And there the branch leader is thinking, "We also did not know about their strength. I never thought Golden Wall Merchant Guild would also have a monster. After all, who is he? Does he really know about Shadow Strait?" Then she says, "From now on, you people will keep an eye on Golden Wall Merchant Guild. Watch them like you are watching a reputable clan. Be very careful, and do not stay around second young Master Battison at all. I think our Hao faction's fate is resting on him." After that, the next day Golden Wall Merchant Guild scene is shown, where Soso wakes up and while writing a letter tells, "Oh, mother, are you fine now?" "I am fine. I am there leaving. For a few days, I am going to River Martial Alliance. Therefore, until then, I will not be able to contact you." River Martial Alliance, even a small child knows how much amazing this place is. I think the young master is truly quite incredible. Even two very famous physicians are working with the young master. This is really very fascinating to see. After that, it becomes night, and Soso goes to her bed and sleeps. Then suddenly a sound comes, because of which her eyes open. Then she tells further, these three, for the last few days, are going out every night. It seems they are doing some kind of strange training. The young master is becoming even more handsome than before. But the strange thing is, Both physicians also look younger than before. Then Tasan says, physicians are much better than the women of the courtesan house. No. Hearing this, the reaction of all three becomes very strange, and they start staring at Dan Yang and saying. Then So-So tells further, earlier, I was alone. But now it seems I have a new family. As soon as I return there, I will contact you. So please, do not worry about me. I miss you a lot. Your beloved daughter, So-So. After that, the scene of White Flower Courtesan House is shown, where in front of Tazan the branch leader is sitting on her knees. There Tazan says, how is the investigation going? Then the branch leader says, we have already sent you the details of the investigation. Then Tazan says, I am not talking about that detail. I'm talking about the details of my background whose investigation you people were doing. Hearing these batailles, the branch leader becomes very shocked. Then Tayson says, why are you so shocked? Did you really think I would not find out about this? Then the branch leader says, please forgive me once. Such a mistake will not happen again. Then Tayson says, leave it. I was only asking whether the investigation is complete or not. Then the branch leader says, we were doing it with too much caution. Therefore, the investigation could not be completed. We were not investigating you, but the Golden Wall Merchant Guild. Then Tasan says, so tell me, what did you find out about me? Then the branch leader says, no, we did not investigate you. You know about our secret, so why would we investigate you? Then Tasan says, okay. Then tell me what information you have about River Marshall Alliance. Then the branch leader says, we will immediately give you information about it. Then Tasan says, I want some good people to follow me. I have some work with River Marshall Alliance. Then he asks for a pen and paper, and after writing something on that paper, he gives that paper to the branch leader. The branch leader, looking at that paper and trembling, says, this is the Shadow Strait Manual. Then she starts saying, thank you to Tayson. Then Tayson says, if you are thankful, then show me how useful you are for me. Along with this, you can become the leader of the How faction. Hearing this, the branch leader, looking at the Shadow Strait Manual, starts thinking, can I really become the leader of the How faction? After that, the scene changes and it is shown that Tayson, with his people, is going to River Marshall Alliance. And standing far away, his elder brother Taisu is watching those people, and beside him the chief steward is there. Then Taisu says, I used to feel he is still a child. It feels like it was just yesterday when he used to cry for small things. But now he is helping us in our matters. He may look healthy, but I worry about him. Then the chief steward says, with him are two best physicians, so you should not worry about him. Then Taisu says, you said right. Anyway, I am the one sending him. Come, let's go inside. Then turning back and looking, he starts thinking, don't know why, but I feel like something very big is going to happen. After that, the scene of Sao Dogon's residence is shown, where Bongmu Ok had come, and the man sitting in front of him, I think this is Sao Dogon. Then Bongmu Ok says, the preparation of the ritual is complete. The things the elder gave are also ready. Then Dogon says, before the ritual happens, we will wake them up. I want you to control them. And Bogang Mok also says, okay. Then Dogon says, this time we lost in Wuhan. Even Golden Heavily Align, which we supported, is of no use to us. If this time we fail again, then the elder will punish us themselves. Maybe we will be made such souls who will wander for infinite time, who will never get peace. After that, looking at some small pots, he says, you people just wait a little. Then I will take you people outside very soon. After that, the scene of some time later is shown, where all of them, in a carriage, were going towards River Marshall Alliance. Then Needle Eccentric says, this carriage is really very comfortable. A lot of money must have been put into it. Then Divine Physician says, this is nothing for the young master. Then Needle Eccentric says, you only know flattery, and in this way an argument starts between the two. Then Needle Eccentric says, Anyway, if we went by the water route, we would reach River Marshall Alliance quickly. Then Sion says, at this time pirates are very active. Therefore we are going by the land route. Then Needle Eccentric says, anyway, if we went by water route, then they would have to worry about us. Hearing his words, Kion and Sion also cannot say anything. Then Divine Physician says, anyway, didn't you say Lady Yunin is also going to River Marshall Alliance? Then, how about she also goes with us? Then Sion says, she has already left by boat on the water route, and I think she will not know that we are also going to River Marshall Alliance. Then Divine Physician says, didn't you say pirates are very active at this time? Then Sion says, Yan Manor's warriors are very skilled, and besides that Lady Yan is also a very skilled martial artist. In Yan Manor there are not many female warriors. Therefore, I serve her. Even if she is stronger than me, serving her is my job. Hearing her words, Divine Physician starts thinking, she does not know how strong he is. Anyway, besides him, whoever she compares here, they are all monsters. Then Chion is shown, who starts looking towards Sion, where Sion becomes sad. After that, her childhood scene is shown, where Sion is small, and beside her, the Manor Master is there, who says, her name is Sion. From now on she will serve you, because both of you are of the same age, so both of you can train martial arts together. Then Sion also greets and says, my name is Sion. Lady Yan, from today, I will serve you. And there a small Lady Yan is there who is training. After that, she comes near Yusan and says, I am happy to meet you. My name is Yan Haran. Come, let's become strong together. And here Yan Haran was really looking quite cute. After that, present time scene is shown, where Kian and Sion were doing very dangerous training with each other. Then Chion starts thinking, what happened to her today? Why is she so fired up today? After that, Kian deflects Sion's attack and attacks her, because of which a small cut forms on her hand. Seeing that, Kian asks her, are you okay? Then Sion says, I am fine. Let's continue it. Then Chion says, this wound looks very deep. First let's show it to the Divine Physician, but then the meal bell starts ringing. Seeing it, Kion says, it seems food is ready. No, miss. But Sion starts going to the other side from there. After some time the scene is shown, where all the people were eating food, and were doing a lot of joking with each other. There Chion is quite quiet, which the Divine Physician also notices. Then he says, are you worried? Then Chion says, what are you talking about? Then Divine Physician says, if you are worried about her, then why don't you go and see her? Otherwise keep sitting here regretting that you did nothing. Then Chion says, I am not understanding what I should do. Then Divine Physician says, don't think too much. Do what your heart says. You just have to end your worry. After that, Divine Physician gives Chion food and says, take this with you, and there So-So is enjoying it. Then the scene towards Sion is shown, where she is training, and behind a tree Chion is standing. After that, Sion takes a stance and attacks the rock in front of her. From this attack, a very big cut appears on that rock. Seeing that, Chion also becomes very shocked. Then a voice comes from behind Sion, that was a very good attack. And when she turns and looks, it was Tayson. Then Tayson says, you are very worried about your own things. Therefore, you did not even know when I came here. If I were your enemy, you would have died by now. Then Tayson says, empty your mind and keep all your senses open. Then Sion says, after all, how many people would have succeeded in doing this? Then Tasan says, like this, I have seen more than 500 people. If we talk about those whom I have not seen but I know, then they are many people. Anyway, staying inside your self-made limit is not that bad. No. Hearing this, Kion becomes very shocked and starts thinking, was I always living inside my self-made limit? And there, looking at her, Kion becomes very shocked. After that, Seon is shown, who, inside her own mind, doing question-answer, attained enlightenment. Seeing this, Kyan starts thinking, is this a transcendent trance? After that, Tasan starts leaving from there. Then he stops and turns back and smiles. Seeing that, Kyan thinks, as expected from the young master, he already knew I am here. After that, he starts thinking about Sion. Then he runs and goes to Sion, and it is shown that from inside Sion a lot of energy was coming out, and Sion was thinking, he will have to do this process properly. Any kind of disturbance can become an obstacle for her. After that, it is shown that morning happens and Sion's enlightenment also completes. Then she opens her eyes and starts thinking, is this the transcendent trance about which I had only heard? Then she turns and looks behind. There was Kyan who was guarding her. Seeing him, Sion starts thinking, warrior Kyan, what is he doing here? But then, Sion's foot hits the food bundle, because of which Kyan turns back and looks. Then Kyan says, you woke up. Congratulations for your enlightenment. Then Sion asks, since when are you here? Then Kyan says, I was afraid someone might disturb you. Hearing his words, Sion also starts feeling shy. Then, while opening the bundle, she says, what is in this? Then Kyan says, I thought you might be hungry, so I brought it here, but now it has become cold. No. After that, Sion takes out the food and starts eating, and after eating she says, this is really very tasty. Hearing these words, Kyan also becomes quite happy, and in this way talks start between the two. After that, after some time, scene is shown where Tasan says, it seems you achieved enlightenment without any trouble. Then Sion says thank you to him for giving enlightenment. After that, Tasan says, if something had gone wrong, then you would have gone into energy deviation, or maybe you would never wake up. Anyway, I left you alone because there was someone to take care of you. Hearing these words, Kyan and Sion start feeling shy, and between those two So feels very uncomfortable, and their Tasan starts thinking, this time that coward has done something big. After that, the scene of our Hue province's Yi Chang is shown, and in Yi Chang itself there is River Martial Alliance where those people had reached. But then a man comes to Tasan, greets him, and coming near Tasan, he says something in his ear. After that, that man goes away from there. Seeing that, So says, young master, who is he? Then Divine Physician says, I think maybe he is from Hao faction. Then Tasan says, in 1 hour Yan Manor's boat will come here. After that, Sion says, that means Lady Yunan is also about to reach here. Then Tasan says, yes, as soon as she reaches here you have to protect her. Hearing these words, Sion becomes very shocked. And there So says, young master, it seems you had already guessed that we will reach here before Lady Yan. Then Tasan says, no, this was just coincidence. And besides that, it has been a long time since you both met, and Sion is shown who was watching Tasan going. After that, she smiles and greets him. After that, it is shown Yan Manor's boat had arrived there, and here, Lady Yan was only thinking about Sion. But then she hears Sion's voice who was shouting, Lady Yan. Hearing it, Lady Yan becomes very shocked, and in front of her Sion was standing. Seeing that, Lady Yan hugs Sion. Then Lady Yan asks Sion, what are you doing here? I really missed you a lot. Then from behind a man says, Lady Yan, who is this? And the one saying this is Jimen Jihak, who is the eldest son of Jimen clan. Then he says, maybe you know her, but there is a lot of difference between you two. Seeing him, Sion starts thinking, these are the same people about whom Lady Yan was worried. Then Lady Yan says, she is my bodyguard, and also my close friend. Then Jihak, laughing, says, a bodyguard who is also a close friend. Your personality is very carefree. If you come too close to someone, then those people forget what their status is. Is this really your bodyguard? To me, she looks very weak. Can she even fight? There Lady Yan was trying to defend her, and Sion starts remembering the childhood promises, where we are shown a child whom Sion beats so much that he becomes unconscious right there. Then Lady Yan says, "Why did you do this?" Then Sayan says, "He was repeatedly teasing me that girls cannot learn martial arts." But then someone, saying, "Young master," is calling. Then Lady Yan says, "I will handle this. You just have to stay quiet. If they find out you did this, then they will beat you to death." But Sayan was still worried about Lady Yan. After that, evening scene is shown. There Sayan is asking, "Lady Yan, are you okay?" Then Lady Yan says, "I am fine. It is not hurting that much." Then Sayan says, "Why did you help me?" Then Lady Yan says, "Because I want to become your friend." After that, we are shown the present time scene. Then someone comes and says, "Hey, why are you people still standing here?" And the one saying this is probably the divine physician, who further says, "We had work nearby, so we came here." And seeing Tasan, Lady Yan starts feeling shy and starts thinking, what is Tasan doing here? And there Jihak and Tasan's eyes also fall on each other. After that, Jihak says, "Maybe you are Lady Yan's former fiancé Pyok Tasan." Then Tasan says, "What former fiancé?" Then he asks Lady Yan, "Has our engagement broken?" Lady Yan says, "No, our engagement has not broken." Then Tasan says, "You heard what he said, right?" Hearing these words, Jihak also cannot say anything. Then Tason says, "After all, who are you, and why are you with my fiancé?" Then Lady Yan says, "These are all people of reputable clans. In this gathering all rising stars are being gathered. Therefore my father ordered me to travel with them. Other than that, there is nothing between us." Then Tason says, "Anyway, you will stay somewhere. So how about you stay with us? Anyway, you are my fiancé." Then Lady Yan also agrees. After this, they start leaving from there. Tasan says, "Okay, let's go." And there Jihak, getting angry, says, "That arrogant bastard from somewhere." A boy standing behind him says, "What are you going to do?" And Jihak is thinking, during the whole journey she did not even once look at me and smile. Seeing that stupid young master, her whole expression changed. "Whatever it is, in the end you will marry me, not garbage like him." Then Tason is shown as they were going, where Lady Yan was watching Tyson. Then when Tason looks towards Lady Yan turns her face to the other side. Seeing that, Tyson starts thinking, why is she so crazy for me? Did something happen between these people before? And in this way, they keep going. Then Tason starts thinking, the more times I look at her, the more I start remembering her. Then we are shown a girl who was telling Tasan's past life, meaning heavenly demon, saying, "One day you will surely reach the level of supreme." Here understands supreme meaning heavenly demon. And the very next moment it is shown she's in the hands of that heavenly demon and is on the edge of dying and is confessing her love to the heavenly demon, which in the present time Tason is thinking. After that, it is shown that while walking, they reach River Martial Alliance. Seeing that, Divine Physician says, "This place is very big." Tason says, "This place is equal to half of Marim Alliance." Then Divine Physician says, "After all, this is River Martial Alliance. These people also call themselves Hove Alliance." Seeing this big place, calling it a mini Murim Alliance will not be wrong. Then Tason says, "It does not look that bad." And in this way those people get their place to stay. Seeing this, So-So says, "This place is really quite big." And there a servant says, "I have been told an important guest is here, so I have to specially pay more attention to you people." Hearing this, Divine Physician praises himself and says, "My fame has reached River Martial Alliance." The light of a shining star keeps increasing. Eccentric says, "All this is because of me. I was invited here, not you." And in this way those two start arguing while insulting each other. Then Tason says, "You both stop and listen to my words carefully." Then both of them say, "Yes, young master, speak." Then Tason says, "From today itself I need good physicians around, because this city is very big, so here physicians will also be very many. Then divine physician says, but young master, you already have the best physicians, so what need do you have of other physicians? Then Tayson says, I have sucked a lot of you people, therefore your efficiency has become low. Then Needle Eccentric says, even though it used to give me a little pain, but because of it, I started becoming even more healthy and young. But the problem is, from where will we bring physicians? Divine Physician says, we will go kum roaming around and hire physicians. Then Needle Eccentric says, you are smarter than you look. Then Divine Physician says, come, let's start it. But we have to hire only good physicians. Then Needle Eccentric says, in seeing good physicians, I am much better than you. You should first pay attention to yourself. Then Divine Physician says, so why don't we put a bet on this? Then Needle Eccentric says, then Divine Physician says, what happened to you? Are you afraid? Then Needle Eccentric says, fine. If I win, you will tell me your real identity. Then Divine Physician says, do you have that much courage that you will be able to digest my real identity? Then Needle Eccentric says, whether I can bear it or not, that is my problem. After that, both of them start staring at each other. Then Divine Physician says, okay, but if you lose, then you will teach me your one needle art. Then Needle Eccentric angrily says, but I have only that one thing which makes me special. So how can I teach you this? Then Needle Eccentric says, fine. The one who brings the most satisfied physician for the young master will win this bet. After that, Needle Eccentric looks at Divine Physician and thinks, this time I will definitely find out what is young Master Tasan's and your real identity. After that, night scene is shown where Tasan was doing his work. Then Divine Physician says, they are not feeling too much pain. Then Needle Eccentric says, yes, they are not screaming as much as usually other people scream. Then Tayson opens the door and comes outside. Then Tayson says, take them away. As much as I thought, this is far more useless than that. And you people will bring physicians for me every day. Then Divine Physician says, every day? Then Tayson says, do you have any problem in this? Dined. Then Divine Physician says, no, we can do this. Then Needle Eccentric says, anyway, now with whose physician are you more satisfied? Then Tayson says, I know you both have made a bet with each other, so I will tell this at the end. After that, both of them start taking the brought physician from there, and there Tayson stands and thinks, their efficiency was very low. Is this because their medical technique level has become low? Then he tells, everyone's soul energy is different. Where physician's energy heals me, the courtesan house women's energy makes me lustful. And such souls which are very dirty feel a lot of pain, and their healing effect is also very low. At this time, for my body the most necessary is pure soul. Just then So comes there and says, young master, I was worried for you, so I came to see you. Seeing her, Tayson thinks, a pure soul. After that, Tayson says, you came at exactly the right time. Then putting his hand on her head, he says, do not worry at all. You will not feel even a little pain. After that, we are shown the scene of another place, where an old man holding a lantern is going somewhere, and with him Bong Muvak is there. Then he asks that old man, till when are we going to reach? Then that old man says, we are going to reach soon. There some are 10 years old, and some are even 70 years old, but only the great elder can use them. This is the best work of my life. They can even fight with top elders. They are very useful. Most warriors will not be able to stand in front of them, and Bong Mong was quietly listening to his bataine. After that, that old man with a sarcastic smile says, we have reached there? I have not come here for many years, so I'd forgotten the way. Then Bong Mumak, looking to the front, becomes very shocked. Then that old man says, I told you. Right, this is very useful. Then it is shown there were many dead bodies of people, and on the head of all those bodies some kind of talisman was stuck.